You're going to get to see the down and dirty of what we do when we set up a booth. I'm going to do mid-century over here. I'm going to do Fenton here. I'm going to do jewelry and boudoir here. And then there's everything else because I've got a ton of stuff. So we will just wing it and see how it turns out. The Sasha enamel, I could do 35 on it.
35?
Yeah.
Okay. And what can you tell me about that?
So Sasha Brostoff was a big designer, mostly originally ceramics in the late 40s. He'd been in the USO and as a performer, and then he was in Hollywood as a set designer, and somebody discovered him, and he had worked in pottery before, and they saw some of his pottery and said, hey, we'll set you up with a factory. We love your designs. And I'll tell all of my friends in Hollywood about you. And so pretty soon Marilyn Monroe was buying from him, and a lot of famous people collected it. And then later on, the factory closed, and then he came out with these enamels around 1970. And Sasha B for Sasha Brostoff is the signature.
You know, now that you're telling that story, you kind of said that not too long ago.
Yeah, I've been talking about him because I just got another part of a collection. A friend of mine went to his estate sale 30 years ago and bought stuff, and then kept collecting things. And he has a big collection, but he had a bunch of extra stuff that he never put out, and he said, I want you to sell it. So that's the thing. You were here first thing. The early buyers get to see stuff that the people who come at 9, like I did, don't. But then the cleanup crew like me, well, we get some better deals on certain things. So, you know,
that's okay. It'll be just Sunday.
Come see, come saw. Exactly. Yeah. Come back on Sunday and you'll get it for your price.
They would flip if I got a photo with you.
Oh, well, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. It's Mitchell and Maddie. And I'm serious.
That's great.
Kind of cool the younger generation is into you.
I think it's so nice because I want to share all the information about all this cool stuff. And the thing is there's certain things I'm noticing younger people like that us older folks have just sort of forgotten about. I mean, I'm seeing them interested in things like Roseville pottery. I'm seeing them interested in cut crystal. They're not just doing mid-century because their generation grew up around nothing but plain stripped down stuff. And some of them, especially I hear people under the age of 35 saying, I'm tired of plain, I want fancy. They're watching these shows like, Edgerton, and they're getting all excited about Regency decorating. I'm just like, wow, well, this might bring back some categories that we haven't had interest in for a while. I have to admit, this is a lot of fun. It's just nice seeing the enthusiasm people have for all this old stuff that I've been into for so long. Big cheese. Always important to talk to everyone who comes along. Hello there, how are you? Good. I like the little milking stool or whatever that is. It's nice. Oh, wow, it's got the great linoleum. You know, I got it right. I could do 50 on it. It is by the company in Louisville that made the disco balls, and it seems to be in perfect shape. Well, it's always fun to have people here early and shopping, even though it makes it kind of hectic. You know, it's great, and I have one less thing now, so that's good. Great to be here. Yeah, great to have you here. I will try to keep chatting with you all. I'm not really able to stop and read comments too much because I have about 10 more boxes to get out, and then I've got to unpack everything. The idea is to get the crates empty first because the crates are my shelves for the show, so it's a process. Pauline Pemberton gave me this very nice merino wool hat that actually fits me and is a man's hat. A good start. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah, that means I'm up to $95 so far. And considering that this is just setup time and there's hardly anyone here, I'll take it. It's always nice to have a little bit under your belt before the official start of the show. I just got these today in the lines, actually. Howard Pierce. Oh, there was a big comment, but I didn't get to see it. I'm not going to be able to interact too much with comments, I'm afraid. Just if I happen to be there and see them, I will. But I think we're going to do kitchen here next to the mid-century because it'll be cute together. And it has some of the same feel. at least some of the stuff like Pyrex bowl sets, which I have another one somewhere. This is where you start going around in circles. I've got a bunch of the green depression uranium glass, so we'll do a display of that here too. Oh, they're over here maybe? Beats me. Okay, well, we'll find them again eventually. Old mixer, this still works. Ding, ding, ding. I thought these were cute. There's a set of 6 and they're very, very flower power. All right, there is another set of Pyrex somewhere that I swear I already took out, but we'll get to it. I think I'll put some of the Fenton kitchen over with the other kitchen just for fun. Besides, they look good together. I'm not sure who the customer for this was, but it made me laugh out loud, so I had to have it. It just did the display of green uranium. It's so fun. Oh, you have the same cake plate. Yeah, that one was really popular in the time, so you'll see it a lot, but it sells because it's got a good pattern and it is uranium glass after all. Let's see, we've got some general kitchen things like the classic Coke Star X bottle opener. Speaking of uranium glass, Pyramid and Tea Room. Tea Room has even more exaggerated handles. I've loved these patterns. You know, I've got the other piece in here somewhere close at hand. I have a big bin to throw the paper in where it won't blow around, which is important out here because thankfully we have a breeze. I'm so blessed to have found a space under a tree. I keep reserving the same space every time for that reason. Ah, there's the creamer. Time to move some of this. Oh, there's my other set. The primary colors, which are kind of fun. I think maybe I'll put them adjacent to the mid-century glass. Probably makes some sense. Hello. Oh, what problem? Oh, I have to say that's pretty genius. Everyone says that you can hear me and everything is good. So, oh boy, we got a lot of stuff. Oh, this silly flag. I'll put it in here. Certain things you put up and then they blow around and you realize you have to wait till you have other things to weight them down. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm very aware. Somebody said a naughty word and I was like, oh, I hope that didn't pick up. Yes, it wasn't me.
It only matters.
Well, that's good. Yes. No, it was sort of offhand. Oh, yes. Oh yes, the stink bugs like to hang out with us. One thing about doing an outdoor show, you've got to get used to critters. My favorite was when I would do the show in Packwood, Washington, up in the mountains, and I would have to scrape elk poop out of my space before I set up. They were shopping, yes. Well, they were grazing. Actually, the crazy thing was there'd be, a couple thousand people in town, and at nighttime the elk would still wander right into the, if there was a place people weren't set up, they'd just wander right in and graze and could care less, which I thought was pretty amazing. All right, that fish is cool. We'll put him in there. Oops, if I don't break him. This fish is actually an old Portuguese Majolica piece, a little older than most of the Portuguese pieces we see. Hello there. How are you? Oops. Another flag that fell down. This one's a funeral flag for someone in the Odd Fellows. Yeah. Oh, really? Like related to fraternal stuff, or? Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Huh. Those might actually be pretty old. Well, my friend and neighbor is starting to set up his metal furniture. My neighbor is coming and he's going to start setting up his stuff. He does a lot of metal furniture and barn find kind of stuff. Yeah, he was thankful he's a really nice guy, because the first time they put me in this space, they actually put me in his space, which he's been renting for 20 years. But that unfortunately is not uncommon at this show. Yeah, my friend Susan was supposed to have the space 3 spaces down, and they ended up double renting it, and she had to go in the back row and didn't get any business, and she won't do the show anymore because of it. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, as wonderful a show as this is to shop, it is not the best run in terms of the logistical part. They always work it out and they're very nice about it, but every dealer I've talked to has had a problem at some point. Not sure where we'll put these. They're nice and colorful. Maybe like this, because I have another one that can go the other way. Okay. I see. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be here till 6 or 6:30. I have lots of stuff, so this will take a while. Correct. Well, if you want to take my pass, because I won't be leaving until I'm leaving, you could take my pass if you need it to get back in. Yeah, yeah. They'll just see you have a pass and wave you in. But I need it for tomorrow, so if you take it, just make sure. Well, if you want it, go ahead and take it. We just have to make sure we don't forget in the morning that I have to have it. 1:30. Oh, good. I'm not doing too badly then. Okay. Yeah, it's in on the dashboard, so you can just take it if you like. Hey, how are you? Good to see you again. I've been all right. I'm glad you're here.
Same here, same with me. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, and we'll have fun. My friends who set up next to me last time, they have convinced two other people who are in our group chat on YouTube to sell with them. So they're gonna set up and split all that. Do you need? I think you can get in here if you need to pull in.
I'll tell you what, I'll put my trailer back there
Okay.
along with that little thing. They can set up all back through here.
Oh, okay, great. They might need to. So, okay, cool.
You know what I mean? Come all through here.
All righty. All right. Well, that sounds great. As long as you've got what you need, then we're all in business.
How about like from the end on?
Perfect. Yes, yes. Yeah, oh
You
yeah.
guys can go straight back and I'll just put
That's
my
the thing. We can go way back if that's the
trailer
case.
in that spot.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, we'll make that work.
More the merrier.
Yeah, I agree. I'm so excited people are getting into selling because, we're seeing all these younger customers, and then I'm like, all of us dealers are getting older. We need new dealers too.
We talk about that. That's where I live. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah.
Because I used to talk about there's 2 or 3 older ones that go to the auctions, and I know
Yeah.
they're done. Me and another guy was talking. We're getting to be the old ones.
I know, huh? Hello there. Let me see what I can do on that one for you. I could do, my best would be 125. It's Burmese, and that's a fairly limited edition. It's got some marks on the bottom. Hello. It is. How are you?
Doing very good.
Good. Yes. Yes. I'm.
You get around quite a bit. Here's a rupees not too long ago.
Yeah, that's right. Rosie's. Yeah, that was just last weekend, and believe it or not, I've got like 3 new boxes full of merchandise in the last week. So,
Came down from that area.
yes, yes. Yep. This is me, and we're. Oh well, I'm always here, and the best thing to do, although they keep changing the numbering, but the old ghost number here is 301, and 301 is actually one of the few. Well, I covered up with a box, but 301 is one of the few numbers on the map. But I'm right by the dog barn and under the big tree, and I usually bring the yellow tent unless I need the big one. So I try to make it easy because yeah, this is a confusing show the way it lays out, and there's so many people, but there's also it's just yeah, the organization of this the fairgrounds, it's like everything goes on these buildings, but the buildings are all in a spoke, and then the rows go out from it, so it's like nothing's at an angle, and I don't know where I am half the time. I have friends who are like, come see my booth, and I never find them. Oh, it was fun. I have to admit, I've got a little bit of the bug. I kind of like sitting up and being the auctioneer. I've got a ways to go, but I did all right. I mean, I practiced in the car a lot. It's that, yeah. Well, I'm glad you had fun watching it. I had fun doing it. And although, the thing that I found that I didn't realize is that it was really fun selling other people's stuff. And when my stuff came up, I didn't like selling my own stuff at auction. It was kind of nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's nerve-wracking, and I'm worrying about like how much am I going to get, and exactly, and no reserve and all that kind of stuff. It turned out okay, but
Any Halloween you haven't unpacked yet?
no, I don't have any Halloween this time. I'm sorry. This would be the time to bring it, but I just have not found any.
It's a Halloween.
Oh, how cool! Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Those are killer.
Yeah, my mom was the Halloween baby in our family, so yeah, that's right. So it was always a thing, but now I'm afraid I don't have any this time. Well, it's good to see you again, and maybe you'll find something great. It looks like you're already doing okay, huh? Ooh, that's neat. Oh wow.
Great shape, too. I mean,
Oh, actually, I won't go too crazy here, but I just want to. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, and it's got the timbre front out of St. Louis. Wow.
I think it's lucky I'm finding those old ones.
That is really neat. Yeah, I'm seeing them starting to come out of collections a little bit. I think the generation that collected before us are starting to be gone, so it's our turn to have them for a while. Oh, really hard.
You ever see it? You're out and about?
If you go to Cape Girardeau, Mississippi, There's an antique mall there. I mean, Missouri.
Missouri?
Yeah. Yeah. It is amazing. It is amazing. He's got such a great collection. And, you know, I thought for what he had, I mean, it was collector price, but I didn't think it was overpriced because he had a ton of rare stuff and so much. I just could not believe it. And in the middle of Missouri, I mean, who would have thought? Well, yeah. Well, that apparently was the biggest collection in the country, and the person passed on, and the fellow who's selling it bought the entire collection, and that's why it's all in one place. So, yeah. So, oh, that's neat. We think it's Edward Stellmacher with the owl on it, and it's a pretty good one, actually. It's kind of that 1920s amphora. Oh, the only thing I have that, and I don't think she really counts as a witch. She just sort of has that look. Do I have scissors? I think so.
And do you want
Oh, I don't know where I put the scissors. No, I might like a lemonade though. Oh, is that the Halloween?
Of those dome plastics.
Oh, the popcorn things. Oh, these are great though. Everybody loves this stuff.
I never had any when I was a kid. So.
No, I never really had any of these either, but Zeno did. He remembers them. That's so cool.
And then I got this other thingy. That thingy's pretty beat up.
Oh, nice die cut though. Oh, that's great. That's old. Yeah, and that folds up into like a lantern you set a candle in. I'm sure most of them got burned up years ago. Your elementary school days, yeah. I suppose we had it too, but I don't remember it well. Hey, thanks a lot. Yes. Oh, the articulate. Yeah. The honeycomb. Yeah, the honeycomb. Oh, the limbs that would flop down. Yeah, and all that. Yes, I always thought that stuff was really cool.
Anyway, I moved because it was like, so I moved it over.
Good.
This entire day is early bird, right?
All of this is early bird, so all day long. So you have to pay $50 to get in. So it's not a ton of people on early buy because it really is setup day. I mean, it's people who are really, really serious collectors who want to see it all first, or it's dealers or people who, you know, are here because they have an agenda to be on it first. Okay. Okay, great. If you'll set it to the left of the door there. Good. How are you? It's a process, but it's coming out. So let me know if I can help you at all. Nice to meet you. Anytime I can wholesale it, I'm happy if I can. Well, that was fun. And for those of you who are watching and thinking, how could he let those things go that cheaply? Well, you know, sometimes when I get a good deal, I just pass it on. This is my mascot. It's not for sale, but Don and Pete Curtis brought this to me at Teak Stock, and he's so amazing. So I got to get him out of the way so he doesn't get bumped in the car while I unload. But yeah, I mean, you think, oh, but I would buy those if you're a reseller, you know, you might pay $25 for that set. And I think he was a reseller and he just did pay $25 for that set. But I happened to be very fortunate and got them for surprisingly little. And they're big. And as you can tell, I'm going to need room. So people make offers on big stuff. They oftentimes get the big stuff for cheap. And yes, this is a unicycle. And no, I'm not going to ride it. I always wanted to as a kid, but I never learned. The train set, I could do $250 on all of it, including the building and the track and everything. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Just got the Tutti Frutti. Oh boy, it's getting hot. Yeah, I figure the faster I work, the better. We are back on, and we are setting up at the Springfield Antique Show. This is the Fall Extravaganza. I have my friend Beth Kemper just starting to set up next to me. Willie Joe's going to be there too, and so are the Wrinkles. Hello, everybody. I won't be able to interact a lot with the chat directly, but I'll try to talk to you a little bit as I do things about what I'm getting out of the box and why I'm setting things up the way I am. We've had several people come by, some YouTubers, Jocelyn from Crazy Lamp Lady and Sandy from My Flippin' Van Life were here, and we've had several customers and sold some stuff. It's setup day, so the customers who are here are people who paid $50 to get in early, and they've been shopping all day. So you're not going to see a bunch of people here, but you'll see some serious people here who really like this stuff. I just got this at Teak Stock last weekend. This is Pigeon Forge pottery, and I really like the dogwood. It's one of their most famous patterns, but I haven't seen this bowl so much, so I thought that was nice. And oh, more little poodles. I've got a lot of animals. In fact, I have a fellow who came earlier. Several people are coming back around 4 o'clock to look at jewelry, so I'm in a little bit of a hurry here. But I also have a guy coming back to look at glass animals, and I've got a bunch. So I think I have just hit the mother load of those, along with a Boston's Chalkware Yorkie and a little bunny rabbit. So we'll just have a whole menagerie over here for people. Including lamb chop. Let's see there. I wish I could read the comments better. Again, I'm looking right at, I'm looking into a dark camera against the bright sky, so. But it's okay because I really have to stick to my work anyway.
That's really about it.
Oh yeah, no, that's just fine. As long as you can see us, well, that's the main part of the fun. So, all right. I have a nice copper luster piece. I can't believe this stuff, 150 years old, and it sells cheap. I know a few people are starting to collect it, and I know why. Tell Beth we are stepping on it. Okay. Well, we have figured out the setup so that you guys will have plenty of room to spread out next to me. I'm very excited to have friends of mine from YouTube selling next to me at this show. The Wrinkles did it last time, and this time we're going to have Beth Kemper and Willie Joe and the Wrinkles. So it'll be really fun to see what they bring. They all have a little different, well, they just all bring a little bit of different stuff to the market. Beth's done a few shows. The Wrinkles have only done the one here in May when it rained so badly. So I'm hoping that they have a better experience this time. And you see a whole bunch of people who are here, and I'm glad that some of you folks are enjoying this. Hello. I was asking 100. I've got a little room in that. It is original. It was rewired with the proper cord and plug. I could probably do 85 on it for early buyer. You notice he bicycled up. This is such a huge show that people bring golf carts. They bring all sorts of stuff to get around here. Nice Fenton lamp. I'm surprised I still have this one. It's Daisy and Fern, and yes, we do have the lid. Quite a looker. I think I am going to put that up because we don't have a strong breeze here this time. Sometimes it can be very blustery here, and you have to be careful how you set up in an outdoor show. Hello there. Back to see more.
Yes.
Well, there is more.
So it's like,
Yeah, that's
cool under here with a nice breeze.
yeah. I feel very fortunate to have this spot, and I keep coming back to it for that reason.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Makes sense to me. Now, when this was blowing back here,
Uh huh.
it was like on the ground and easy to
Step on.
step on.
Yeah. Well, when
Things under.
I do. Yeah, at some point I'll weight it down, but since it's blowing the other direction, I'm not going to worry about it right now. All right, I think we are just about to empty another crate, which means we can build another shelf and focus on our back display of Fenton. I have quite a lot of Fenton glass because I just did the teak stock show. And we had the Fenton auction and sold a number of good pieces, but I had so many good pieces that I still have some really nice things left for this show. Oh, right over there is a porta potty right next to that lamp, the telephone pole over there. Yeah, that's our closest. And then there's an indoor one way down at the building if you prefer a nicer environment. But that one mainly is only used by the vendors, so it stays all right. Oops, I just dropped something. Yeah, that's a bronze religious token of some sort. And then there's this classy product. I'm not sure where to put that. Next to the fancy Fenton? I don't think so. Oh, just about filled an entire bin with wrapping paper, so I think it's time to shut the lid on that. No, that's her moving stuff. That's the neighbor. Zeno is kind of sensitive to sound, so he gets the jitters when he hears things bumping and lumping around. I figure unless I hear the crashing tinkling of broken glass, I don't worry as much. And I see some of you folks chatting there. If there's something that you really want to ask me and I don't see it, leave a comment and I'll try to get to it then. Okay. We have a space for more Fenton when I figure out what capper I want to use. 1, 2, 3. Got to kind of figure out where I am with crates. All right. I think we'll use this one because it's a nice low profile. We can do some smaller pieces and then do bigger pieces around them. This one's awfully pretty with the bird. I've got a lot of limited edition Burmese that came to me just at the very last minute, so I'm excited for people to see that. It came so late I didn't get it in the auction catalog at Rosie's, which is great for the Springfield attendees because they get to see it here instead. And then while I was at Teak Stock, these are Fenton and they have cardinals, which cardinal's the bird of Kentucky, so we'll put those out because people, if they don't sell here, they'll sell there, but I figured we'd give people a chance at them here. And yes, I have been buying cut crystal lately. I actually believe when you set it up next to this colored glass and it's got all the faceting and it refracts and reflects the color around it, I think it's something people are starting to catch on to. I certainly see prices starting to go up on it for the first time in 30 years. Okay, stars and bars. Yeah, we can put that there. It'll look nice in the sun. It's a good fall color piece.
Did you get a little bottom for that?
That's actually a different one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, I never did find a. We have a stars and bars top that's been sitting around for a year waiting for, well, 2 years maybe, waiting to find a bottom. And I haven't found the bottom yet, but I found a complete one. These are heron and they're in the style of the old Royal Vienna, which is nice. Miss Wildlife, hi there. Nice to see that you're in there. I'm occasionally able to see a chat or two, so I hope you're all having fun, and I'm just working away. This is what we do. This is the glamour part of the business. 2 years? 10 years?
Yeah, I've had that.
Oh, you had that before I ever was doing this. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, well, every 10 years or so, we should find a bottom for that, I would think. A couple of Lomonosov cups and saucers too. I tried to bring some really nice cup and saucer names rather than your sort of $5 ones. This is Ainsley, but with the butterflies. This one is a pattern that always sells. Hello there. Oh, Janet's here. Zeno's showing me the chat really big. Yes, Janet, the first half we had to stop because we discovered that it was showing only doing audio. Diane Husani, Rusty Mendelson, great to see you. Electabilia, that's great. Well, we all walked by glass before we knew better. Elizabeth Mulgard from Norway, it's wonderful to see you. Norway, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh.
Carrying one. Oh, that's great. Your plans for today are shot. Well, I'm sorry we did that to you, but I'm glad you're having fun. And yeah, anyway, I will mainly talk to you rather than with you, just because I can't mostly see, and I also really have a lot to do, but I can't mostly see what you all are saying. But I'm glad you're enjoying this. I certainly am. I like setup.
See, I was right. Denmark.
Denmark. I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Well, there we go. And I should know, my ancestors are from Denmark and Sweden. I apologize. I know as a fellow Dane that calling you Norwegian is a great insult, and I did not mean to do that. I grew up in a town in Washington called Paulsbo that is Little Norway. And believe me, if you called them Danish or Swedish, oh, you heard about it. So I definitely know better. Okay. Let's see, the Fenton Nativity sets, I think I'm just going to set, honestly, I think I'm going to set them underneath for the time being because they're cool, but you can't really see them in the box. This has a sterling surround. I'm looking for anything like this with sterling because even with the reticulation, that's still probably 3/4 or an ounce of sterling. So you've got $25 right there just because of that. All right. This I bought in the lines this morning. This is a Weller Luelsa jug from about 1900. I actually bought a lot of pottery this morning. I think because I had a lot of glass, my eye went to things that I didn't have. And so I'm excited to show people some other stuff. The lines were fun. I ran into Jocelyn from Crazy Lamp Lady and Sandy from My Flippin' Van Life, and we chatted for a bit, and then we went around, and there's a whole live on that too. And I don't know how long it'll take to process and come up, but you'll be able to see what that was like because it was fun being in the lines and shopping the people who set up early. Fenton jam jar with the spoon. The spoon is the hard part to find, and then the matching blue here. So I'm ending up with kind of a blue shelf, it looks like. Maybe we'll put that over there instead then. All right. It is always fun for me to play around with the display.
What time?
All right. Where's some more Fenton? Well, actually, I think I'll open this one first because then I can put this crate up for the remaining stuff on this table. I've got some kitchen. I've got a bunch of childhood stuff. I think that's going to end up out on the front. People do bring families with kids here, and so I don't mind having some older kid stuff as long as it's something that they can play with without getting into trouble with, like the old Viewmaster reels and things like that. Jason Wrinkle collects Disney. I don't know if he needs a pair of Donald Duck pillowcases, but I do bring things with certain customers in mind if I know that they're coming. And when you've done a show a few times, you do start to develop a clientele just because they know you and you know them, and it makes it fun. All right, little Matchbox car. I got this at Teak Stock. This is one of those 1980s phones where it lights up and you see all the electric in it when it rings. So we'll put that with the modern stuff. All right. Boy, have I got a lot of stuff. And if one or two things, I've got to take the old tags off of. That does happen sometimes. This was made by a company here in Alliance, Ohio, called Kettle Springs. They did a lot of novelty plates for churches and organizations, but this one's Eisenhower. I have a few presidential election collectibles because we are at that time. Dog masks. I have to say, people here seem to have a sense of humor about themselves. I saw a woman go by and she had her dog in a little thing, and she said, "Look, it's already in a doggy bag." She had a sign. Yes, I have to say, I mean, the people here that I've met have all been very nice, and they're just going through some growing pains because this place is swelled in population. They had a car factory open, and so everybody I see seems to be working very hard and doing their best. Okay. What's that now? Oh, isn't that cool? Yeah, I think it's Stellmacher. It's a really good one. I'll take one. Thank you. Orange. All right, we'll hang these. These are little bamboo things. They're kind of flapping in the wind. I think I'll just set it down for now. We are getting a bit of a breeze, but it's so hot, we're grateful for it.
This breeze is acceptable.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Oh, awesome. Wow, and it's hot. It's cool and hot. Thank you. No, that's okay. I like the orange.
That looks really dangerous where you're walking.
Yeah, I'll have a sign right there, and this will be blocked off. Oh, Sino brought me strawberry lemonade, and it is great. Actually, though, I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to put this over here. It's pretty. It needs to be up where it can be seen anyway. Oh, yeah, we're really getting a breeze now.
You looked at the weather report?
It's supposed to be nice. I don't know the details. Have you looked at it?
Not today.
Yeah. All I saw was it's supposed to be hot and a few clouds and pushing like high 80s. And I think that's pretty much all weekend, which is great. So if you're in the area, come on out because it'll be a really nice time. Come see us in the mornings, and then there's a bunch of indoor buildings that you can do in the afternoon when it gets hot. Yes. One problem with the breeze is that, yes, there are petroleum factories near here.
Oh, I think that's like, is that its own factory or just?
No, it's a factory. We've had that before, yeah. Or a company that, like a local oil delivery company, something like that. No, we've had this smell on occasion. Usually the wind blows the other direction. Okay. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh, that's great.
My beauty friend that you met.
Nah.
She's got those. Did you see on the chat? She's got Picasso prints. This big,
Really?
like 10 of them in a folder.
Oh, neat. Well, maybe so, since the Dali prints I had, they sold right away. I was so pleased. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like art. I'm learning more and more about it as I go, partly because Florida, they love it. Contemporary and otherwise, art is big down there, so you run into it a lot at the States. Oh, I think that seems like a good price. It's cute. Cute counts for something, I think. What's that now? Oh, probably. It's definitely sweet, but also sour, which is what I needed, a little both. Hello again. Good. I'm making progress. I'm never sure if I want to say a lot, but I think I'm making a lot of progress. Well, it's fun, and yeah, I definitely have the stuff, especially this time. I have really, well, not just packed it in, but then I did an appraisal fair in Port Huron, Michigan on Tuesday, and I bought stuff there. I was doing teak stock in Michigan last week, and I bought stuff there. I've just had it, and then I did the lines this morning. So honestly, for having had a show last week, I actually have a lot of fresh inventory, which is pretty great. Yeah, because I wasn't sure how I was going to manage that, but I did.
So I'm going to give you this.
Oh, thank you.
That's my line. You can call me. So if you come across that Francoma piece.
Excellent. Yeah, let me make a note of that too, because then I'll remember specifically to look for it for you. Francoma wagon. Mike, very good. Okay, Mike. We just all know you as plaid shirt guy.
Well, that's one that sticks. So thanks to Dagny.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll let you know about that because I think it's hanging right up in my mall space in Kentucky, and it'd look better in your house.
That's what I tell people about my group. I think this stuff will look better in your house.
Yes. Well, it's true because, I mean, we have fun with it, but we do ultimately get it for somebody else's pleasure, right? And then we buy for our own collections for ours. Oh, you've got a lot of neat prints and pictures. This is fun. I don't have much frame piece in the way of frame pieces. Yeah. I think that's a great price. Yeah. He's more of a minimalist. Oh, very good. Oh, good. Well, I look forward to seeing you both. Have I met her before? I thought so.
Within, well, actually a year.
Yes, that's right. She came not to the spring show, but the fall show. That's right. Robin. Yeah, our friend Robin, who, yeah, she's not doing the show this time that I know of, which is too bad. I really enjoyed Robin, and hopefully she'll be able to do them again someday. Yeah, and they did fantastically well, and I was so pleased for them. They had neat stuff, and they've been saving it up for a long time, and oh yeah, I bought some stuff from her too. Her prices were definitely fair, and then she had some stuff that went home with collectors, and yeah, I thought they did a great job.
I bought the brother to this morning.
Oh, did you really?
And I asked if you're asking for it.
25.
25? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking I could probably.
That's about what they.
We kind of bundled some things.
Right, so it's somewhere in there. Yeah, no, you'll do fine on it. Yeah, Stars and Bars is a good pattern. You see it more often than a lot of others, so it doesn't sell for high prices, but it sells.
You see a lot, so.
And you see Amber a lot, but you see it a lot because it was popular, and that means it's, you know, I figure if something was popular in the day, it's probably going to still be, and that seems like it holds true a lot. Well, very nice to see you, and I'll look for that Francoma piece for you.
Like this and just stuff. And I have to bust it in, so it's like just throw it there. I mean, it's like. I've got to tell you all this hype about Springfield.
the people here that I've met are very nice. They're dealing with the fact that there's been a big influx of people, but they came because there's jobs. They're all working. They're all paying taxes. The local people, and I understand. When I was a kid, we moved because the Navy opened a submarine base, and we were, isn't that cool? Yes. We moved to Bremerton, Washington, and suddenly there were 20,000 of us sent in from California and Texas, and the local people were kind of upset at first because suddenly the roads are crowded and the schools are overcrowded, and it took a few years to build the infrastructure. And eventually we all got along again, and nobody accused us of eating anybody's pets, and everybody was fine in the long run. And that'll happen here too. Sorry about that aside. Beth brought a bunch of cat prints and it just came up. Okay, next box, please. Ooh, man, I do pack these heavily. All right, I really like this little deco lamp, and I'd like it to have a nice home where people can see it. It's already gotten some attention today, even being down low. So I think I'll put it here, up high. It's got a nice heavy base, so I don't think it's going to blow away, and I have a big piece of glass to set next to it. Well, no, I've got two big pieces of glass. That won't work. All right. Tell you what.
Yeah, I sent one out to the cat.
Yeah.
There were also enforced Alf jokes.
Oh,
Yes. All right, this is a neat picture that's a little more mod. Those are great. They're going to be perfect because they break down easily. Very nice.
I got 3 or 4 more if you want one.
Well,
It's not your style, is it?
oh, it's not that it's not my style. I will seriously consider. I'm just thinking how I could use it. I think I might be able to. You have them at your house? Okay. Well, I know 147 Vintage wants us to come see her sometime, so maybe when I'm passing through, we'll pick those up and go on the road. I was supposed to, and I got so... Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you? I got so far behind that day, and I had to call and postpone, and she was very sweet about it. I felt bad. I really did want to see her, and she's got cool stuff, and she's very generous about her pricing. And
She is to you.
well, depends on what you're buying.
Well, down at, there was that Marina Bowl. Marina.
Oh,
And I said, oh, I like that. And well, I'm going to give it to George for 30, but you can have 40.
ah.
I thought,
Well, I actually ended up paying. I actually ended up paying more than that for it, so don't feel too bad, because I think that offer, as generous as it was reconsidered when it came time for the actual purchase, and I don't blame her because it was a really great piece, and I actually paid what she offered it to you for, so.
and I would have bought it, but not after she said that.
Yeah.
And she wants me to come up and shop. We'll come up with you.
We'll come together.
Get up there.
Oh yeah, that's right where I think that's right where it breaks.
Is it right there? Oh, okay.
It's when I used to see my wholesalers, one in Vincennes and one in Whitesville, Illinois.
Okay. I have a great 50s apron I can wear for the weekend. All right, I'm not sure where that's going. Oh boy. Ah, Sasha Brostov. I got a bunch of Sasha Brostov stuff. This is Rooftops. Always really like that.
Wasn't it like daylight savings or something?
Lots of salt and peppers.
Oh, so they actually increased the size.
I'm gonna make this all the same.
Okay, Royal Copley can go over here. We'll put this nice red bowl up with the cardinal. Do a little red, white, and blue display. Sometimes this stuff just tells you where it needs to sit. I didn't come with a specific plan, just sort of a general idea. And then sometimes you just let it speak to you, and it does. It says, put me here. Hello. How are you doing? You sure did. And I bet I have more of it somewhere in this pile of stuff, but boy, I got a lot to do still. Good. Smart to have the bike. And that's a great old bike, actually.
My granddaughter.
It's so cool.
We bought it for her to have in our house, and I got it in because I can only put it to the great house.
Well, yeah, and the other thing is that it's nice because it's small and it'll fit in the car.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, I'll be back.
Okay, very good.
Yes, you always know about the stuff. What's that?
The orange basket. Oh, this. That is a candlestick holder. Those were made in Germany in the 1960s, and they're really a fun design, I think. Yeah, I see them out on the West Coast. I got that one in Vancouver, Canada.
Yeah.
Yes, please do. I will have a lot. Well, I do have a lot, but I will have a lot out. Yeah, I like those. Those are right out of the 50s. And you see the shakers with the recipes, but you don't see the trays very often. Well, I have to tell you, Beth, just
Yeah.
you don't seem like you need me to tell you this, but my rule of thumb is if I'm the first one there and I'm sharing a booth with other people and I'm there and I have to make the decisions, I get to choose where my stuff goes first, and I don't wait because we all have a lot of stuff to do. What's that? Yeah, she'll yell it. All right, let's see here. Now we're getting into some more Fenton. This is the old, actually, this is a tobacco humidor. Most people use them as a canister, but it's got the original Centennial Edition paperwork in it, which is nice. And you don't see that all that often. Usually the paperwork was separated from them if they even included it in the first place. So pretty color. I think I will put it up here. No, I think I'll put it in the blue display. Well, the good news is that we can go as far back there as we have to. So yeah, no, there'll be. Hello.
Hello.
You're welcome to take stuff out of there if you like.
Give them a trash can.
The trash can, I could do 50 on that. And it's in great shape. It's not rusted out or pitted or anything. It is by the same company that made the disco balls. Yeah, they were based in Louisville.
Oh, these are from here.
Ah, yes, lusterware fish from Japan in the 30s. I just thought this was a great look. Yeah, you develop a clientele after a while. It's the great thing about, it's why I like doing the shows, is because when you've done them a few times, then you have this group of people who come to you and you get known for a thing, or you know what they like, so you start looking for those things. And apple. Yes, I have it with me somewhere. Yes, I have that. I have some things for Willie Joe. There's a bunch of stuff for all of you all that are I put aside that's all together.
Did you say that you thought this was a little bit less than before?
A little less
Today.
You mean?
The lines and everything.
Well, it's funny. I thought that there seemed like there weren't as many dealers in the lines. And what I realized is that a lot of them were not near the building, so they got to come in earlier and they're all set up, because actually, as I'm looking, we have dealers all the way to the end of this row. And at the spring show, we usually just get across this street and then that's it. There's no one down there. So I think it's just that because they were further afield, they were able to come in earlier, so they didn't have to wait. And also, not everybody wants to do the lines as a dealer. Some people, they just come when they're ready and they wait till they can drive right up to their space. So what's that?
For shopping, to resell.
Yeah, and I disagree, because I spent $500 this morning in the lines. I think it depends what you look for. I think what it is, honestly, is that Misty looks for a certain category of merchandise. And for her, unfortunately, I think her category has kind of been discovered by a lot of people. And so, she used to be able to buy for $3 and $5, and now she's looking at 12 and 15. And it's not that she couldn't make money at those prices, but it's not the easy money that it was. And, that just happens. People catch on and they start to all, and part of it is Misty has a YouTube channel and we all see what she buys. So a whole lot of other people have gone, oh, people like that, so I have, yeah, he was here this morning, but we didn't, we saw him go by, but I had my nose in a jewelry case, so we didn't actually get to speak. Oh, good. Oh, that's great.
Jeffrey and Katie are coming tomorrow.
Are they really? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I wasn't sure if they were coming. I didn't know if they'd come all the way from he's been down with her in Florida, I guess. Oh, that's great. Well, Jocelyn from Crazy Lamp Lady was here already today, and so is Sandy from My Flippin' Van Life. I know. Well, I don't know if she is or not. A lot of times, it depends how much she finds today. If she finds a lot, they'll probably go thrifting the next day or two, and then she'll come back on Sunday for the bargain day. That's her MO a lot. Everybody has a little different style for how they shop this show. Hello there. Oh, I told that guy I didn't have any more Pyrex, but here's a Fire King he probably would have liked. Hello.
Anything I want?
Maybe. Come on in. You're welcome to look. If it's out, it's for sale.
Have any turtle shaped flower frogs by chance?
I don't. I have other flower frogs, but no, nothing like that. I love them. And I saw one this morning out in the line, so somebody in this show has one for you.
One of those?
Oh, cool. It wasn't that one.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it was an orange ceramic one that was really...
Yeah, I'm looking for the glass one.
Oh, you're looking for glass. Okay, yeah.
Thank you, though.
You're welcome. I'm a big believer that you always try to help the person find something, even if you don't have it. And the fact that I saw it this morning, it might be somewhere, because if they find something, they'll come back to the show, and then maybe they come back to you the next time. Hi there. Sorry, I'm getting right in your way, and I didn't mean to. No. We're here for you guys. It's just that I have a ton of stuff, so it takes me a long time to get out of the way. No, I think Misty went to Elkhorn in May because Elkhorn is more of a flea market in Wisconsin. So the prices are better, but I want to sell where the collectors come and buy the stuff that are serious. So to me, this is the place. More uranium glass. I can't believe I'm putting uranium glass on the ground, but I think I am. We'll definitely use the ground for display at this show. Hello. Kangaroo. Pencil holder, yeah, Art Deco with the Bakelite knob. All right. Let's see what size this is compared to others I have. Okay, those two are the same. Always have to match the crates so that they fit properly. And I'm going to need to have two the same size here so I can make another riser. Alrighty, I think I've got to get this crate emptied, because then I can go up and I'll finally have everything where I can set everything and it'll go faster. Since I still have umpteen boxes to empty. This is a process, folks. Those of you who have hung with it for a while, You're real troopers, because I know I'm getting tired. Angels. I'll have a whole little display of these here. Angels and pretty women with bonnets. Oh, there's 86 of you watching. Well, hi there. Thank you for being with us. For those of you who just tuned in, I'm sure you're all telling each other as we go, but I am unpacking at the Springfield Antique Show. This is the Fall Extravaganza. This is setup day. You will see some customers come into the booth because early buyers pay extra money to shop out in the lines in the morning and in here in the afternoon. There are dealers in the buildings as well. So there are some people here, and we'll have some customers come and stop to talk to them as we go. And I'll try to chat with you a little bit as I go along, but this is work time. This is the glamorous part of the business where we put it all together. Very nice. 97. Oh, very good. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I wish you were here helping. I love this guy. He's very gargoyle-ish. He's an 1890s inkwell with such a great face. And I'm doing a lot of fancier stuff on this back table, so I think we'll put him here with this nice piece of Fenton. I'm doing a lot of Fenton on the back table because I figured I'll do my modernism there. I'll do my Fenton over here. And it's a nice combination to bring different kind of customers. I like to kind of group things a little bit by style, at least, as much as I can. Like this is kitchen-y here, because different customers then, if I have a lot of people in the booth, they go to their various areas and everybody can shop. Because it can get very crowded here. This is a very pretty Fenton piece that I'm surprised I still own. I think I'll put it front and center here because it's just really, look at the detail on that. I've only seen one other one and it was as is. So let's see, maybe this pink piece up with the purple. Hello.
Hello again. Did this or no?
I just have the base.
Just the base.
20. Yeah, is that just a plain white lid?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Good. Okay, so if I see one, I can pick it up and
Absolutely.
yeah.
There's a cream colored and then there's a white.
Okay.
You want the white.
Very good. Thank you. Yeah, that's right, because the cream body is a little different.
Yeah, right.
I like the cream body when I see it, but
Yeah.
but I don't often.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah. Yeah, Pyrex is, I always thought it was good, but boy, it's really interesting how popular it is now.
And it has been for a long time.
It's held up.
There's so much of it out.
There's so much of it out there, but that's why, because it's so well known that there's also a ton of people who want it. It's like those Penguin, the chrome hot cold keeper with the penguins around it. We joke about how you see one in every single antique mall, and yet they're all priced $25 to $30, and they all sell because everybody gets it and they like it. So, you know, yeah, sometimes obscure and rare isn't necessarily better.
People don't even know it's out there.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't know to ask. It's true. Yeah, I'm actually starting to look for certain things that people haven't really talked about in a long time, like certain porcelains and certain pottery companies and stuff, because I'm like, you know, if a new generation even knew this existed, these prices are good,
Right.
because nobody has paid attention to it for a while. So
Well, I'll be back around at some.
Okay, very good. I'll keep digging it out. You'll probably see something else. He's been around 3 or 4 times today. This is nice. This is old moss rose, and this is Victorian. This is an example of something. I bought this with when I was up in New York. It's a syrup pitcher. It's got a nice mark on the bottom. Knowles Taylor and Knowles, so it's actually American. I wish I could read your comments. I'm sorry that it's so dim for me here. It's hard because I'm looking into the sun, and you guys get to see me because we have the camera pointed away from it, so I just can't really read. Another nice Fenton piece with the, I love the dolphin handles. I'm a big fan of dolphin handles on glass. It's a very old thing that started with this Boston and Sandwich Company back in the 1820s and 30s, and it's just never gone out of style in glass. Duncan and Miller did it, Fenton did it. Almost every good glass company has made something with dolphin handles or dolphin feet. Aw, another animal. I've got a whole bunch of animals. This is Royal Copenhagen. I always thought that their color glaze was particularly successful on this piece because it matches the color of the animal so well. All right, the Fenton angels and women are arranged. I actually had a tall crate for them. That's good. And that means I can actually finish off this side and start setting some boudoir items up. All right. All right, I think that's pretty stable. We're going to put this, I showed this before, but this might have been when the camera cut off. This is a nice travel mirror that's beveled and folded in threes. That's Victorian. I like having a mirror for people to see how things look. I think I'll set it on the jewelry side, actually. Oh boy. We'll do a bunch of perfume bottles in it. You can't see it like I can, but the reflection from the mirror makes all of that pop, so that's going to be a fun display. And I always like to put things like this in the back of my shelves or crates because then you have a nice backing and you can work a display in front of it, and it gives a nice light color that everything can contrast against. So that's my modus operandi there. All right. Here's that. Okay.
Where's George's water?
Oh yes, hydrating is important. I've got a giant bottle of it right here. I promise you. I brought some food.
People who were going to nanny you. So you don't shrivel up.
It is really, really important to, I bring food because otherwise you end up eating a lot of greasy burgers and fries. If you want to maintain your health and be able to do this, well, it is a good idea to try to take care of yourself. So thank you to whoever said that. Let's see, there we go. It's a little warm for a fur muff today, but I've got one. Somebody in Ohio will need this in the next few months. And there it is. I got that at a little flea market in the middle of Nebraska this summer when I was driving west for the antique shows. My next antique shows after this are Custer Show in Spokane, the first weekend of October, where Miss Wildlife will be joining Corinne Jones and I. And she has a really great piece of Blanco that you might want to come see. And then I also will be doing the show the following week, the fall version of the Rose City Vintage Market in Portland. This box is not in great shape, but it's a very sweet 1920s box, old chocolate box. Aha, Mr. Baseball is here. Hello.
Can we switch?
Yes.
You guys stable?
I thought they would for you. I'm not sure why they're there. You know, this show, they could just throw anything anywhere. I mean, we'll...
You guys will be pulling up.
I am, yeah.
I'll pull back far enough for you.
Okay, that sounds great. And as far as the tables, if... And if they don't belong to them, we'll pull them over here, and if no one claims them, we'll use them, and otherwise whoever wants them can come and get them. Yeah, and you have your own stuff, so yeah. Okay, sounds great. Yes, it's always interesting at this show because they're not the most coordinated, so they left tables for my friends. Well, the thing is if no one's going to use them, we'll use them. We didn't order them, so they're not ours, but they're not our neighbors either. You know how this show is, they just sort of throw stuff everywhere and hope you work it out.
Yeah, as long as they don't charge you.
Well, exactly, so maybe, but why aren't they there then? Yeah. well, I'll tell you what, let's just get this, if you don't mind, let's put this up back against the tree. We'll get it out of his way and then we'll figure it out later. Yeah, but I can do it on my side. Yeah, they really are. Oh, would you? Thank you. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, we can just throw them on top and they'll be out of the way at least. That's all right. Okay. There we go. Thank you. All right, problem solved. We might end up with 3 extra tables, which would be fine because with all the stuff that my friends are bringing, I'm sure we'll use them. Hello. All right, let's see. I wrapped something in this moo-moo. Oh, it's the top of the big crystal dish. That's right. Ta-da. Ta-da. We've got a few more cute perfume bottles here, and then I'm going to show you a really great piece of glass that I'm not sure where to put. This one's nice because it's got a little painted decoration on it here with the woman. More perfume bottles. I like these angular German bottles from the 50s and 60s. There's another Fenton piece
This wildlife is asking if someone
If someone wants something, go ahead and leave a comment. Not a chat, but a comment on the video, and I'll take a look. And if I still have it, I'll be happy to sell it to you. So I'll check those comments probably sometime over the weekend. I can't guarantee that I'll be able to do it, but if you see something you really like, please ask, because the stuff's for sale, and I'd be happy to send to any of you folks too. It's just that I can't follow the chat, so leave a comment. This is another Fenton limited edition that I haven't really seen before. And I'm sorry, I think someone just asked a question, but again, I cannot see the chat. So, right, exactly. And Zeno is only going to be here so long to be able to tell me. So you folks, again, do please leave a comment if you have a question that I need to answer that I can't see. I'll try to get to them later on.
So if I go and take that.
Uh-huh. Yes.
What time should I come back?
Well, I'm leaving at no later than 6:30.
Right. What time do you want me to come back to be able to get? Well, you don't have to.
I can drive out with the pass. Right, only if I wanted to come back in. But once I leave, I'm leaving for the evening. So don't worry about it. Just take it and make sure I get it before tomorrow morning is all, so I can come back. Otherwise, it'll be a very sad show without me.
But basically, it's going to be.
I have to be here by 8 because that's when the gates open.
Okay. And that's when I would have to pay. I'd have to pay.
Yeah, but it won't be $50 tomorrow. It'll be like 10 or 15 or whatever they charge ordinarily. Because yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you pay $50 to come early today to get first dibs, and then you pay a lesser price for the regular over the weekend.
Anyway, this I think is not charging anymore because it's already done its thing.
Okay.
So, I mean,
once this quits.
Well, no, you'll have this one, but I'm saying you can swamp them out until you pulled one out and it's dead.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep going as long as you folks are here.
Here's the thing, though. Before, when it went black,
yeah,
it didn't go black for you, but you can tell that it's messed up because it's frozen. The video will be frozen, not the chat. The video will be frozen.
So if I'm moving and I'm not moving anymore,
just tell the people, hey, that they can still hear you.
Okay.
That you're just going to end it.
Got it.
And then you can.
We had that happen earlier, folks. If you're wondering what this conversation is, yes, I was talking to a black screen. So, how are you folks?
Good, and you?
Good. If I can help y'all, let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice old Stein. I believe this is a Metlock. Or maybe it's a Goertz. But it's an older one because it says Germany. And it's not one of the new German ones at all. Okay, I've got to put this aside. Pardon me, I'm sorry. I've just got to put my plastic aside to cover up with tonight. Keep the moisture off of everything.
You don't want this like right here, so you'll see it.
No, I really am fine with it where it is because I know to look there. That's kind of my usual spot for it.
It's on top of the tin.
Okay.
And I'm going to say goodbye.
Okay, well, come on out here just for a second.
This is your case. Put it back on.
Okay.
I'll take this.
Oh. Well, I told you I was going to show you the pretty vase, but it turns out I just have the card. It's an Orion and Flume, but the vase must be in another box. Oh. All right, I've got one extra crate which will go out on top of the box because we'll need the room. I'm sure some of these people think I'm just talking to myself and that I'm nuts.
It's still here. Okay, I've got everything I need. So go before I pass out.
Okay, very good.
Come here.
What?
Goodbye,
Oh,
everyone.
yes. Zeno is leaving. We're going to stay on, but he set it all up, so it's going to keep running. Thank you so much for your help. Thank you for going around and this morning. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. Thank you for going around this morning, too, so that we could go live. That was fun. It was all his idea, and I'm glad we did it.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I will see you back.
Okay.
Don't forget to check and see if it's frozen.
I will. Okay. All right. Well, we've got this cool leather basket full of stuff, so let's unpack that next, just because then we can put the basket out. These I bought to finish up a set that I have in the caddy that I've been missing. Where it came from? Oh, well, yes, the original set came from Goodwill, but I ended up paying $15 for the replacement glass because one was broken. So, was that a bargain? It was okay. But, you know, buying things and then holding on to them and hoping you find that missing part, well, it's more of a mixed bag than you might think. Fun piece of fabric here, this curtain. I really would like to hang that off the tent somewhere. In fact, I think I'll hang it over here because when we get hot later, this will be a shade. So hopefully this won't make a lot of noise. I'm going to hang it near where you all are seeing the view. All right. You can hang a certain amount of stuff from your tent. I hung a really big heavy thing from this, or a different tent once, and there was a big windstorm and the big heavy thing twisted the tent into knots, bowing the tent and allowing the rain to pour all over all my stuff. So since then, I'm a little more careful about how much weight I hang on the edge of the tent. But this is a nice bat-colored bark cloth type fabric. Okay, the buildings are getting ready to close, and I think that means that we're at... Do you know what time it is? Does that make it 4 o'clock or 5? Yeah. And now you can, because you have a pass, you could stay here overnight and set up if you felt like it. Well, you got in. Ah. Oh, I see. Okay, very good. Yes. What's that now? Well, Jocelyn rented one of the Burner Brothers Airbnb, and we're staying there. Yeah, it's really great, actually. It's very nice of them to make it available. Hello. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you again. Boy, am I slow. I can't believe I don't have this all done.
Well, you've been out shopping.
Well, just until 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
You got so many knickknacks that-
I've got a lot of little stuff. Yes, it's true. It adds up. How'd you do out there? Did you find things in the field this morning?
Well, not that many. I don't know. It wasn't a crowd, normal. So I felt bad for the people.
Well, you know what I noticed is that it seemed like they let a lot of the people come in earlier. Usually we all have to wait there. And this time it was just like, well, if you're not right around the building, come on in. So I came in and half the people are set up.
Yeah,
and I waited because I thought we had to wait, but I actually really enjoyed shopping the lines this morning.
Yeah.
I did all right.
I get there fairly late.
I didn't get there till 9. You know, I always hear about the people who got there at, you know, the crack of dawn. And well, this time of year I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky.
Yeah, but I'm actually at Western, a little town called Dawson Springs that main claim to fame was we got hit by a tornado about 4 years ago. Yeah, well, you know, got to be known for something.
So where else do you live?
Well, then I live in Seattle part of the year and St. Petersburg, Florida area part of the year. So, yes, I get all over the place, but it's fun. You know, it's really interesting doing shows in different parts of the country, as you know, because I see you in Florida.
Yeah.
And you see different stuff, and you see the same people with different stuff. You see the same people with the same stuff, and you see different people with different stuff. So,
It's like my wife. Well, I'm not a dealer. It's like, you know,
right.
my wife was looking up. I said, well, let's, and it's like I feel a building, and I go to another building. It's just so stupid. At 76, I mean, you know, I just don't really like it.
You know what'll happen though is that when it comes to that point where decisions have to be made, they'll like more than they realize. They'll have nostalgia because they connect it to you. Or, oh, remember when Dad dragged us around and made us buy this, you know? So, but I just really enjoy it. And, you know, my attitude and a lot of the people I know who are getting up in their 70s is like, that'll be my kid's problem, not mine. I'm still enjoying this, so I'm just going to do what I enjoy.
It's like I never got into stocks and bonds or anything. And in the early days, I always bought antiques. That turned out not to be the right thing to do.
Well, investment-wise, maybe not, but fun-wise, yeah.
For a living, I developed subdivisions in Washington.
Oh.
So
you did just fine with, yeah, real estate was a good place to be too, so, yeah. Yeah, you too. Everything works around. Yeah, that fellow has been coming to see me in Florida for 15 years. Okay, nice piece of brass with some jeweling. We'll put that there just for fun. All right, what do I do now? I never got the jewelry out. The jewelry people didn't seem to come back, and I think they're going to see it in the morning because I don't think I'm getting to it at this rate. I think at this point, now that I have room to work, I've got to start unpacking all these boxes. And which one should I start with? I'm hoping I can find the one with a lot of nice Fenton glass and this one really special piece of glass for you. The California model hat. It says so right on it. Hello there. I think we can tie this up because it's got a nice heavy netting that's not going to get damaged. I know it seems strange, but I like having things to catch the eye at eye level. And when I have a big flat case of jewelry, I like to have something hanging over it that actually grabs attention, except I just realized I did that so they're going to look at the inside of the hat and I need them to see the outside. So let's try that again. Setting up is not always a science. Okay, we'll do it over on this corner because they'll see it from the outside. I just think giving people little hints at the kind of things that might be in the booth is a nice way to get people to come in the booth and see more. I am challenged with this. Let's try this one more time. Okay. 1, 2. What's that now? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I think so. That's a pretty neat one, actually. I think that's, let's see. Okay, it's bronze. It looks bronze to me, or, yeah, bronze with a gold wash. Neat piece, actually. I like the design on it. Really?
Yeah, she got it from her brother's antique store.
Interesting. I mean,
I looked them up and there was like 2 of them for $99.
yeah, and I don't know how old or how good this one is, partly because it's got felt on the feet, so we can't see evidence of wear. I suspect it's early 20th century, but I'm thinking, you know, if you've seen really big asking prices, I mean, do they have expectations of what you're going to get for it?
I'm doing 50-50 and I told her whatever I can get for it.
I would say maybe try 250 is my, like 150 to 250, somewhere in there is what's ringing a bell just on things I've seen that are similar. I think it's pretty good. Yeah. Hello there. Okay. Gonna set that down there. Okay, here's a little more. Thought I packed this a little less randomly, but it is certainly coming out in just whatever order it feels like. I think we'll do the pink Fenton on the boudoir shelf because it has a nice glow with the light coming through it. Put that guy under there. My attitude is if you have the time, rather than putting things aside in boxes, if you have space like you do at an outdoor show, you just try to put out everything, even if it means setting it on the ground, because as things sell, you can elevate them. Obviously, you're not going to put your best stuff on the ground. These little chrome lamps from the 70s that light from the base up are actually pretty collected now. I think we'll make a little space for them here. I can put them side by side the way I did that. 4 p.m. is the building closing, so my jewelry dealers may come back. I may have to stop and pay attention to them. Oh yes, here's a nice drink set in a caddy, complete. I'm always happy when I find the glasses that fit, and there's all of them there. That's how I ended up paying $15 for those two, because I needed one glass to finish a set that had lost one. I think we'll actually move these little Huggy Bears and make some room for this over here. There we go. And this cowboy clock, I thought I had some other Western. Yeah, right over here. That's great. Except I'm out of room there, so we'll just set this there until I get some plate stands out. Nice piece of Glow Hill. This is Bakelite. These were made in Montreal from the 50s till the 70s. They did a cherry Bakelite that I collect. menorah. I don't know that I have the ultimate spot for this yet, but oh, we'll put it in there because it looks good with the chrome and the Art Deco pictures. All right. This piece is Salviati, but it's a strange low candlestick, and I only have one, so I'm not really sure what to do with that. Hotel bell. Ah, here's the base to that other lamp. These actually sell for about $65 a piece and more if they have a magnet in them. Come on. I've got all my lighting over here in one place, the one that I really, really love, and I had a shade for, and then it turned out the shade I got was the right shape, the right color, and too small, so I have to go get another one, but it's this. This is the Owls, and this is Stellmacher, I believe, Amphora from the 20s. It's a great piece. Someone's already looked at it. Hello. All right, bins become tables, so we're going to fill this with paper, and then it's going to be the next thing we set a crate on, and we'll have more space. Lots of crumpling noises, so hopefully that's not too harsh on your end. But it's an occupational hazard. Really don't like having newsprint. I don't generally wrap in it, but I use it at the bottom as padding sometimes. Newsprint can get into a lot of things. It can destroy pottery. It can really mess things up, so you got to be very careful about what you wrap in it. Because the ink will get into stuff. I've even seen glass pieces that were left out in storage wrapped in newspaper, and you can see the Seattle Times, 1957, right in the side of the glass. All right, there's a bin. That's a base for another thing. Ooh, boy. Wish I could find some more of that art glass for you. Oh, I think I may have. Is this the case? I am going to assume that this might be a box with some more really great glass in it. So we're going to bring it over here and see. Getting bags full of bags. That's good. This loom is really neat looking, but I'm not sure where to put it because I don't have a lot of sewing stuff. So I think we'll set it under the table for now. Ooh. All right, let's see what's in here. I've gotten smarter over the years for the sake of my back, and I put things on things so I'm not bending all the way over. Hey, how are you? Oh, yes.
So I will see you over at the dumpster.
Okay, very good. Yeah, how are you? Yes, that's right. We all traded around.
It goes round in circles, doesn't it?
It sometimes does, yes. I had one table I owned 4 times until finally it went with some couple that was moving to Ireland, and I thought, oh, I'm actually never going to see this again. I'd kind of gotten used to.
They might move back.
They might move back. That's the thing. You never know.
You're very much into display, aren't you?
I do like doing the display, I have to admit. I don't know why exactly. It's not something I ever had any training in. I just really enjoy putting it together because, oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, it just, well, and I always bring so much that I have to group it in some. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I have a lot of nice Fenton right now. I got a really nice collection just last week. So a lot of Burmese and pieces. This one's got the glass frit on it.
Have some nice stuff.
Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate, actually. and a couple of other good glass companies too. This next piece I'm going to bring out here is Lundberg Studios, and it just shines. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Love the blue color. Yeah, I could have this in my house. Absolutely. Not sure where I'm going to put it here, but I'm going to find a place. That's for sure. Yeah, I think we'll set that down on the tabletop.
wow. I hope you have some high-end glass.
Well, thank you. I did last time. That's why I brought more. I mean, they've actually, serious collectors come out to this, as you know, and they will step up for the stuff that they really love if you have it.
Serious.
Oh, good. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You have really cool stuff, and yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, you had some really good pieces of sterling. I got afraid because I'm just like, I don't know enough to buy this correctly, but I figured you'd sell it because it's so popular right now too. Yeah, that went. I'm not surprised. That's great. Oh, I'm very glad you did well out there, but I'm not surprised. You know, when you have good stuff and you're fair on your prices, you're gonna sell. Okay, very good, Jewel. Sounds good, yes. Tomorrow will probably be too busy, but by the time we get to Saturday, I'll be there. That was Jewel. She's really sweet. I enjoy her, and if you see the video from this morning, we spent a lot of time at her jewelry table, and I spent $400. So and I see my friend Jason Wrinkle next to us here. You will recognize him from the chat. He's wearing an awesome Hawaiian and skull shirt. That's a motif. Hibiscus and skulls. Oh, but the skulls are pineapples. Okay. Oh, you've got to come up. You've got to come up. I'm actually live right now. You've got to. Oh gosh, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know I went black because I can't see anything because it's in the sun. But yes, here's my friend Jason. Good to see you. And I love this outfit. Yeah. This is great. He wears the best shirts. Yeah.
Produce guy.
Yes. Yeah, that kind of makes me not necessarily want to eat a lot of fruit and vegetables, but it definitely.
Well, I like to drink out of pineapple.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Pineapples and orange.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty good, especially on a hot day like this. Yeah. So how are you doing, and where's Sarah?
She ran over that way.
Oh, okay, great.
And then we're going to start unpacking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. This is going to be really fun. Yeah, there's going to be the two of them and Beth and Willie Joe are the other couple, and we're going to just take up as much room down this aisle next to me as they need to set up everything. And at the rate I'm going, I might take the back part of it because I'm going to run out of room here. Well, I kind of went crazy and brought a ton of stuff, but you know, I always say that, and then it always fits somewhere.
Yeah, and you always have.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you to say. I mean, it's good in its good in its place, but I've already seen a bunch of stuff that I think is really cool that's coming out on Beth's table. Yeah.
I like the eyeball salt and pepper shaker.
Oh yeah. Hello, it's great to see you. I'm excited for this weekend. Setup is slow because I always bring so much, but it's actually going well. I've sold a few things, and I'm just.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Oh, that's
you
right.
set up.
Yeah. No, it's all right. I didn't mind actually. I'd rather have people around. It's you know, I'll get to the. No, and I mean, and honestly, I was really glad the guy bought the Pyrex bowls because I'm finding out I brought a lot of stuff and I need the room.
Yeah, and Pirates.
Yes, yeah, they are voluminous. Okay, these are really neat. These are Gibson hanging hearts, not Fenton, but they are Vaseline glass and they glow like mad. And I love the orange hanging hearts. I think these are really good, and I would be very surprised if they last. And I'm going to set them up so that people can see them both without having to get into anything else. I was just going to say that wasn't me, was it?
No, it was bad.
Yeah. And I have a couple of pencil sharpeners stuck away for you to look at. So
Oh yes.
yes, the Disney.
Yes,
Yeah. I think there were 4 or something. Anyway, I set them.
I couldn't type fast.
They're in there someone, but I know what you like.
Of course. We know who's on watching us.
Well, Zeno said there were about 100 people watching. So hi everybody. I know I saw Miss Wildlife and Carol Stu Pope and some of our familiar folks, but a whole bunch of folks that I'm used to seeing in the from time to time who can't always be with us in the premiere are here because it's daytime and they actually can watch. So it's really been fun. But I can't actually see the screen very well, so I'm babbling and they're listening, and that's what I can do. Yeah. That's I know part of what here. Okay. Alrighty, let's see here. I got to say, YouTube has just been great. I get to see all of these, some of the people, like the guy who was here earlier, I've known for 15 years from back before YouTube. But here I'm next to a bunch of friends of mine that have come to my life because of YouTube, collectors and people that I never knew before. So it's just a really, really great thing. And when we talk about community, well, it's the tribe. This is a great Sasha Brostoff piece, by the way, if I can find room for it. I think we're gonna.
That's so cool too. That's just quirky and awesome.
She actually got a lot of really fun, quirky, awesome stuff, I think, so far.
Yeah, the vintage.
I actually think you're going to have a really interesting, fun booth because she's got art. I know Sarah said she was not bringing a bunch of mid-century, that she's bringing fancy stuff that she likes, which is great. And then Willie Joe's bringing who knows what, store displays and things. So I think it's going to be fun. All right, Cadillac. Yeah, we'll just put Cadillac out on the front there. I've got a hood ornament I can put with that eventually. Anyway, let's see. I think we've got some more art glass to show you folks. Oh boy, I've got a lot more Sasha Brostoff too. This is a great looking piece with the, I don't remember what the name of this pattern is, but I've always liked that shape.
She's coming tomorrow.
She's coming tomorrow, yeah. Yeah, I saw her last week at Teak Stock because she lives right near there, and she said she was coming.
Yeah, I've got something for her.
Oh, yeah, I think she bought everything, the mine that she would want last week, but yeah, she buys fun stuff.
Two young ladies from Florida last. That's so wonderful.
So fun. I'm so glad I got this. What's on there?
Okay. This is that Sagittarius face that was done by Carl Romanelli for Metlocks, and it's a good piece. I just sold the other one on eBay for $175, so I do have some pretty good pottery here. I'm not sure where to put some of this stuff because I've got 2 big pieces of glass that I have that space reserved for, but here's a spot.
Yeah, great stuff.
Another fun Sasha pattern.
Penny less.
It's amazing how you can move things around and just play a little and you'll find room that you didn't know you had. there's also the point where you can overload a booth too much, or you can end up stacking things on top of things to where they're not safe to shop. So you have to kind of find that balance. And hopefully I have. Sometimes I go past it. Old peanut butter tins are a good thing to collect. I see a big comment there. I wonder if I can read it. Gosh, no, I can't. They're coming and going so fast. I'm sorry about that, folks. Let's see, we'll put peanut butter up there next to a couple of nice Fenton pieces there. We can put the Pyrex up there. There we are.
Okay.
Boom.
If you see something, if you sell something that doesn't have a thing on the back, that's me, because I didn't.
Well, mine's easy. If it doesn't have a price tag, it's mine. Which is a fact. And I'm not proud of it, honestly. Pricing things does help make sales. It helps customers who don't want to talk. Some people are shy. Some people just want to get an idea first before they approach you. I just, so much of this merchandise has come to me in the past 3 weeks, and I have been doing shows and appraisal fairs, and I just can only do so much. So at some point I have to forgive myself and do my best. This is a nice 3-piece Fenton Burmese piece. And actually I'm pretty good, not just at remembering what I'm into things for so I can call out a price, but I'm pretty good, honestly, at being pretty good with pricing as far as, you know, I don't tend to go for full bore on every single thing, because I figure that, you know, if I can give a collector a little better deal, I will. If I get something cheap enough that I can wholesale it to another reseller, I will, because look how much volume I get. And at a certain point, when you're in this business long enough, stuff starts to come to you. I know people, I've had people say, I really wish you do more thrifting videos, but to be honest with you, I get a lot of things that just come as collections, and so I thrift a little and I get a lot. And so you know where I'm coming from there. It's not that I don't enjoy the thrifting, or not that I even, I mean, there's some parts of the country I find really good stuff thrifting. It's just that it's not my number one go-to. I realize I pay more for some things, but I doubt very seriously I'm going to a thrift store and pulling this piece of Fenton out of it, for example. So there are all sorts of levels of buying and selling in this business, and when you've been in it a while, your options change. Big old weeping gold bird planter here. Oh, this is going to get tight. I think this could go there because the tail can be out of the way. This is a geometry. It's funny. I took the Washington pre-college test as a 15-year-old, and spatial ability was the lowest score I got in the 18 categories they rated us in. And now all I do is play around with things and try to figure out spatial stuff. So I guess that was my way of learning about it, was coming into this business and having no choice.
Oh my God.
Nah.
Think it'll sell?
It's just disturbing enough. I think it'll sell. Beth has a monkey that makes very authentic monkey noises. I'm not sure what that's about, but I think someone will love it. This is an etched bowl from the 1980s that I really, really like. And it's got a signature. It's actually 1990, but it's very neo-deco and deep carved, and it had an artist signature, and I got it in New York, and it wasn't a bad price. And I thought, I think it's time to start trying some of this deco revival stuff. However, it doesn't really fit in my deco revival spot, so I guess it's going up here with boudoir, where you can see the pattern as they walk by. I like things at eye level, but you have to be careful of wind here, so it's kind of a trade-off. What can I put up that is tall enough for people to see, but heavy enough to make sure that things don't blow around? Hey, I've done it. I've come to the bottom of another bin. And I found this. Now, the top's plastic, but these were from the 80s, and they're satin glass, and they're cute because they're figural. All right, I can fill this back with paper. Some point I'm going to have to keep some of this out where I can get to it if I'm wrapping for people. Oh, another heavy box. Let's see what's in here. I'll bet it's more glass. Maybe that piece I've been promising you I'd show you for a while. Ah, in fact, yes, there it is. And yes, grandma's shoes. I'll put them under the boudoir table. They're actually kind of cute, though. And we do get a lot of vintage fashion people here, and they're usually younger women. And some of them, depending on the weather, if it's too hot, they won't. But sometimes they actually come out in their vintage clothes, which is really fun to see. There's another pretty Fenton piece. I think I'll put that in the red, white, and blue area. Carnival glass tumblers are just not selling for much these days, and they're so pretty, and you can make all sorts of sets and mix and match. These with the butterflies will probably sell for under $20 each, even though they're from the 1890s approximately. I think we'll set those in there. Well, actually they need to be up a little bit so you can see the sheen. Maybe where I just took that other piece away. Nah, maybe over here with this very shiny piece, we'll see. Okay, here's a very special piece that I have been waiting to get out for you. This is by Sellers. He was the designer. This is Orion and Flume from 1984, and yes, it's priced at almost $1,200. It's a very hard piece to find, and has the signature and everything. It's really, really fun to bring something really, really great. And we'll see. There's a price like this because there's a collector for something like this. So we're going to put that up where it's fairly prominent if we can. I might have to move a few other things around, but there we go. There we are. Yeah, that's fun. I think we can fit all of that safely like so. Great. I think that was fine where it was. One problem is you start to second guess and then you move things around. And at a certain point, you just got to be done and say, this is where it's going. Ah, Fenton cats. I do have an animal collector coming back.
Oh my God, I love the bag. Look, George, I bought tons of bags this time.
Oh, you know what? This time I did too, because I went to the Meijer store last night and they had the big recycling bins and I was just like, yes. I'm not shy. I know. Well, they're just going to recycle them anyway. Oh yeah, no, that's okay, because yep. I'm not shy about that. I figure if they're going to get recycled anyway, I'm going to reuse them first. I had a friend who was like, it's very tacky to use anything other than the bags that say thank you, and she'd spend all this extra money getting them. I'm like, as long as it doesn't say Goodwill or Salvation Army, because we don't really want to publicize to the customers and have them think, oh, they just charged me $1,200 for a vase that they got at Salvation Army, which, by the way, I did not get that at Salvation Army. So we don't use those bags again, but if it's the grocery store, I don't mind. Another very fun Fenton piece. The wheat gatherer, and then the dancer. I think the dancer's having more fun. This used silver oxide. It's a hard to find Fenton piece. I think we'll put it in the Art Deco section over here. Let's see what else we have in here. And for those of you who are watching, thank you so much. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's, you know, this is what we do. And the amazing thing is we do all this work and then on Sunday we take it all down again. But we won't take as much home.
It's on your front side.
I think we'll put one Fenton bear over there because it's wearing pink and I've got a pink display going. And the deer has pink. Yeah, we'll just rearrange a little bit that way. This is Alexandrite glass, and for those of you who are not in the know, I've got a collector, Critter Girl, who is one of our chat group, is definitely into this, and I like it too. It's lavender under natural light. If you put this under an incandescent bulb, it'll turn blue. It's another color changer trick, and they made tableware with it back in the 50s and all sorts of stuff, so it's definitely a fun thing. Let's see if I can read this comment. Oh, I wish I could read these better. My poor eyes are not, I still have so much backlight behind, I'm not able to read all of the chat, but like I mentioned earlier, if you are wanting to ask a question and I'm not able to see it, leave a comment and I'll try to go through the comments later and respond to any questions you have. I've got a lot of custard and Burmese this time, which is really fun to have. And I'm a big fan, and so are a lot of collectors. This little guy, if you ever see Fenton that says made exclusively for Collectors Showcase, that is the store that taught me so much about Fenton in the early days. It was in Washington State. They had 2 locations. They were the largest independent Fenton dealer, meaning other than a chain store, they were the biggest orderer of Fenton. And so they were very well regarded by Fenton, and Fenton made a number of issues strictly for them, as did Pilgrim Glass. Some of the cameo glass pieces you could only get through Collector Showcase. Let's see what else we have in here. Little Fenton frog. I think we'll put him up with this Art Deco piece because he's got a little sheen, so he'll kind of mix in with the pinks. We've had a lot of green frogs in Kentucky this year, more than I ever remember seeing. I think these are from the 90s and they're just silly. They have ceramic and then they're just a floppy body, so you can put her in anything, but she's wearing this big old fun suit, so I'm going to lay her right in the middle of all this. Actually, I think I'll put her in the red, white, and blue area because she's got a little of all those colors. There we go. Alrighty.
Yeah, well.
Oh, her daughter's connected. Mm-hmm. Beth's daughter works for a concert promoter, and so she gets to see all sorts of fun concerts, and she can hook us up for a price. Okay, this is another good Orient and Flume piece here. This one is a fish. I think the animals are a little underrated in Orion and Flume. I think this guy's just fantastic. And he's priced at $295, but given that a lot of their vases are selling for double that, I think the fish is actually a relatively good deal. I'm going to stick him dead center just for fun. Maybe I'm not. I think he might look better somewhere else. But I don't know where that somewhere else is. So for now, we're going to leave him be while I figure this out. Another piece of crystal. I really am bringing crystal around because I do feel like it's starting to sell again. I'm seeing younger people be interested in nice pieces, and these are pretty nice. They came from a collection that dated back to the 1920s. All right, another empty box. These are going to turn into tables soon. I only have 5 crates left to go. Can you believe this? I do overdo it. I mean, most people... Oh, wait, this one's empty. I'm down to 4. This one's empty. I'm down to 3. Yay. Okay. That sounds more like it. I might get this done. I just got the Turner print. I like the egrets. I picked this up in Michigan when I did the appraisal fair in Port Huron. There'll be a video from that. It was a fun appraisal fair, and it was sponsored by an antique mall. I got to film too. Hello.
Hi.
All right. This I had somebody ask for specifically, so I'm putting it aside. These are fruit labels, and they're really graphic. Let's see if I can read any of that. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, well. These are fruit labels. They're really graphic. I really enjoy the way that they look, and they're great backdrops. They usually cost a few dollars each because they would make extras each season because they had to make it assuming there'd be a bumper crop. If it was anything short of that, then there were extras around. So they're not expensive, but they're fun to collect, and the graphics are really cool. And I like putting them in the backs of crates. I like putting them on shelves in antique malls. They're just a really fun display piece that pops, and people notice things because of them.
If you don't mind, I'm moving. That's fine. I'm just trying to make it to where the highest stuff's in the back. I just put
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, if you stagger the levels of display, then you can get a lot more in a small space because people can, yeah, people can reach over it and get to the stuff they really want. Ah, look at this cute little baby from the 1930s. I think we've got 114 people watching. It's funny, I can see that because that's in white. And thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you're enjoying this. We just, Zeno said, hey, why don't we try going live during setup? And I thought, you think people want to watch us set up a booth? And he said, yeah, it's something different. And it is. I mean, not different for me because this is what I do, but. Okay. Brass pot. This might go up front. I still have some really big glass I need to get out. I'd like to get that next. If I can figure out where it went. Okay, that's a lot of paper stuff. I'm going to wait on that box. Hey, you know what? There are 3 extra tables right there that they put in my neighbor's booth. He brings his own tables. He said, I don't know why they're here, and we haven't got a clue who they're supposed to go to. If I were you, I would just take one and use it. And if they say something, well, we can pay for it. But, yeah, for sure. But they're in the way, and we don't know why they left them there, because he always brings his own, and he's been in that space for years and years. But this is how this show is. Yes, exactly. Well, that's why we kept the whole back area there too, because they can pull up and they can just spread all the way to that metal shed if they have to, and we'll just have a giant booth, which would actually be awesome. I think so too. I am excited too. And you know what I'm really excited about? Sarah's here, and it's not raining, and it's not 1,000 degrees.
I have the worst luck.
Ah, one more crystal piece. Where's that one gonna go? I think it will have to go down low next to the Fenton, because it's nice and heavy and it'll hold that shelf down. Ooh, if I can get it out there. There we go. And now it sort of disappears there. It needs more light behind it. We'll put it outside the shelf. You guys get to hear the thoughts that go through my mind when I'm setting up. This car is awesome. I have the track and I have the box lid. These are from the 1920s. They cost $10 new, which was a lot of money. And the guy said it worked back when he last used it, which was 50 years ago. I'm going to do all the toys out in the front here. They will get hot, but it'll be a good eye director, and it will be a good thing. I try not to stereotype, because women collect toys, men collect glass, but typically men are more interested in the toys, and if I put them at the front of the booth, they will stop, and that gives, if they're with a woman who likes pretty glass, it gives her a chance to shop. So there is a little bit of a strategy to all this. Hello.
Oh my God, Beth, I love your shit.
Okay, well, I just happened to come to them first, so I'll let you look at these.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm watching.
If anybody says something in the comments I need to know about, I can't read them, so. Jason says that he's watching along, so that means that if you guys have any comments that are immediate in the moment, I might be able to actually answer them for you. Okay.
Is this an old one?
Yes, it is. Actually even older, because it doesn't have, it has Fahrenheit and Celsius, but it doesn't have the USA mark on the bottom. And that actually is a little older. So this is probably 40s or 50s. Yeah.
50 bucks?
50 bucks should sell that. I just sold mine. Mine was one generation newer, and I got 50 for it. All right, let's see. The next box I want to get to is in an awkward place, so I think we'll finish this off first. One more fancy cup and saucer. This one is Heron, and this one did come from a thrift store. So I do shop at thrift stores sometimes, and because of that, it has horrible tape all over it. I know they don't want people to break this stuff, but it's actually as likely that it gets broken taking the tape off that they slather all over everything. Okay, there we go. So there's the Heron mark. That has some nice fall colors, so I think we'll put that right there. That is not really a cup and saucer. That's a cup and a bowl, but they match. So we'll price them accordingly. You still have that Hager candlestick. I still think this is the most awesome thing. I showed it in the video the other day. I liked it so much. It's still here. Come and get this cool teal purplish 1960s Hager thing from Sarah. All right. Glasses for the picture are in here. I just put a bunch of the crystal out at my antique mall in Kentucky because I saw people buying it there, and I already had a call and sold 2 sets of salt dips, which I realize it's its own kind of collector, but they were crystal and they went. So I'm not saying we should all rush out and buy it today and think it's going to sell for a fortune, but I think if you're seeing it really inexpensively out there, it's worth picking it up and giving it a try, especially if you have a very colorful spot that really needs a little bit of balance, because I'm noticing putting the clear in between the colors, giving some eye breaks that my space hasn't really had before. And as you're trying to get people to look through a display, having variation of height, variation of color, clear versus not clear, it all just sort of helps. Plate stands, hooray. Oh, and price tags. I could use some of those. I always say I'm going to price everything when I'm at the show, and then it's always so busy I don't get to. I'm not complaining about that, but it's my excuse. All right, I brought a stereo opticon and 3 of the volume sets of the Tour of the World. I got to put that down low for now until I have a place for it. I usually take all the paper stuff in. Aha, Willie Joe is here. Hello there. Yeah, I would say the best thing to do, honestly, is to go around the block and come in from the backside by that Penske truck. And then the guy with the trailer leaves the trailer there all weekend, but you can park next to him, or you can even pull behind him and unload, and there's lots of space in the back there. We've got ultimate. They're going to come around. Ooh, I just got this conga drum today in the lines, and it's we can have a drum circle if we get bored. I don't think we'll have time to get bored at this show, but all right. I'm leaving that box for last, so we'll just leave it in place. And that way I can move these things out of the way. So Ethan is going to learn how to ride the unicycle and then show it for everybody.
Right. I would pay money to see that.
I always wanted to learn how to do it. I've never been able to go more than I've never figured out how to make it work.
My brother-in-law told us he can ride.
Can he?
Yeah.
I have good balance usually, but I have not been able to figure that thing out.
That is so cool. You had that on one of your shows, right?
Yeah, that was the live when I did the haul because I just got all that at the last minute.
I was like,
I was so blown away. I mean, I just never see 1920s toys. The track is really fun. And the guy said I haven't used it in 50 years, but it worked when I looked at him like, yeah, but that means there's a chance it works. And Pee-wee, of course. Got to have all the classy stuff. Pee-wee apparently survived the bins, the person I got it from said, and I'm like, how did that manage to go through the bins without getting crunched?
Yeah, some of the stuff she finds in the bins, that is just so impressive.
I'm so surprised in a way because you kind of think, well, haven't they filtered through it already? But no, there's interesting stuff. This trash can with all the mirrors on it.
Really?
This came from the bins, not me. Someone else found it, but look at that. If we could just make this spin, we'd have a party going on.
I have a mirror ball.
Do you? Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I come to the disco. I thought
That's right. It just started. Yep. Well,
I'll tell you what.
you bring the libations because we're.
I'm about dead. I don't know that I could bring anything like.
Yeah, it's warm today and there's a lot of stuff, so it's like, well, you got to keep moving, right?
Yeah. Can't find nothing in the car.
That's correct. Well, actually, I did have one guy drive up in his car and he's like, oh, I see that. Could you bring? He was having trouble getting around and he got out and he came up and then he's like, I want these things. Can you put them in my car? And I was like, sure. Whatever works.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Even online.
You know, Halloween ones. We're looking for Halloween Fenton.
Oh, I love Halloween and I love Fenton and I don't have any Halloween right now. It just, yeah, I had it last time and it all old and I have not found a piece. But I bet you find some somewhere in this show. Oh, good. The ghosts are fun. The second person who's asked for Halloween Fenton. So if any of you folks have that, you might want to put it online because they are looking for it right now. Here we get into a lot of interesting, strange this and that, which is good because we're getting near the end and I'm getting low on space, but I have two big pieces of glass that I need to find. And I think they're in here. So I'm going to let those folks shop while I attempt to find this. I can't see the chat and I don't know who's watching, but Elderly Poodle, if you're out there, I found your piece and I'll send you an invoice. She asked for this about a month ago and it's been packed away. Oh, do you? Oh, cool. He actually would be a good Christmas thing. I just got him, so he was in the car, and I'm like, well, if it's in the car, I guess I'll put it out. But I actually had intended to keep him aside for my display in the when I do the show in Washington. That's where I left my Halloween out there because I knew I was doing a show at Halloween, and then I left my Christmas because I was like, well, that's closer to Christmas, and obviously I didn't need to bring any more to this because I can't fit all of it as it is. Okay, this is, oh, but I have some stuff for Willie Joe in here. This is good. Starting to find all the things I brought for customers, which is nice. And some things that actually are not meant to sell here. This is a lot of my family's old yearbooks from Battle Creek, Michigan, so we'll put those aside. I've got to have one more box with the glass in it. This is where it gets fun, where you think you've unloaded everything and then you find out that stuff that you know is here has not made an appearance yet. So we're going to keep working on this until we find it. But it is not in this box. So I'm going to put that one aside. I think it's over here, closer to you folks. I believe, yes, I set all this stuff on this box a few hours ago and forgot that this is the box that has all this stuff. Alrighty. Ooh. Treasure craft, books. We've got a bunch because, you know, sometimes people come to the show and they're like, oh, hey, you're the guy who wrote that book. And so I have gotten smarter about having the book with me. Oh boy, is this not the box? That means I've got one more bin that isn't opened yet. This gal's cute. She's a ribbon lady, 1930s vintage. We'll put here next to the crystal. I think I'll slide these crystal pieces over behind her because they have enough sparkle they'll show anyway. I think this is a little more Fenton and a lot more jewelry. But I guess I could put that out too. I actually still have room on the jewelry table, which is starting to not be true in some of the other places. Silhouettes. This is a nice collection I'm closing out for an estate. So this is their last show and they will be priced a little better than they have been because they need to find a new home.
Over there.
What's that? Okay, I love silhouettes. I think they're really cute. Got a pair of round ones here too. I may take a break from this and get into some of the stuff that I bought out in the lines today so you folks can see that, especially because it's big too and it's pottery and I need room for it. Wonder if this big heavy bin that's still in the van might be the one that has the stuff I was looking for. What do you think, folks? I am guessing the answer is yes. But first I'll show you something I got in the lines that is very dirty. Thankfully I have something to wash it with. But this is Hager from the 1980s with the Lily, which was a very popular pattern at that time. And it was $5. And I said, yes, I'll take it. It's big, it's showy. Oh, but right now it's going to go on the ground because it's big and I need to clean it. Oof. All right. Here's a big heavy box that I think has the last two wild pieces of glass that I'm looking for. At least I sure hope it does. Along with this nice silky outfit. Boy, I had someone ask for clothes earlier, and here I had this piece I forgot all about. But that's all right. It might be for someone else, or maybe they'll come back. I do have a hanger somewhere for that. Another nice Fenton Burmese. I have such a plethora of Burmese, I'm actually running out of room for it. A week ago, I didn't have any. That's just how it rolls in this business. You go through phases of having and then selling, and then you're out of business in that line until you get another one. Well, this has a lot of nice glass, but not the pieces I'm looking for. So I've got one more bin somewhere. There's a nice Fenton jar that you could do potpourri or arrangements in. The nice thing is that my crates let just a little bit of light through, and I kind of like that because it backlights some of this stuff. Oh, here's a pretty piece. Also Fenton, but this one has a base, and that actually does add something to it. More perfume. I certainly have bought a lot of neat perfume bottles lately, and I've done pretty well with them here, so I have a hunch that I will go home with fewer than I came with. All right, let's see. Here's the base. There. Isn't that nice? It's nice enough. I think I want to put it right here, and that means I'm going to move these brass candlesticks, which could go anywhere, because I need a little more room here to have this join this grouping. I know you folks can't see it from your side, but there we go. Yeah, that's nice. We've got all the flower painted Fenton together in one spot now. And the brass candlesticks will look good right here. If you like decorating, being an antique dealer is fun because you get to do it every time you set up for a show, and you're always doing it with different stuff. I didn't know I liked it until I started doing it. This is a nice little sign perfume. I think Jocelyn might like this. She hasn't seen it yet, so when she comes tomorrow, we'll show her. But she does love her studio glass. One more crystal trumpet vase. I think we'll just set that right in the middle because that'll be very pretty in the sunlight. And that's what's going to sell those pieces, because when you see them in the sunlight and you get all that refraction, then it's really cool. One more pink Fenton. I've got a spot here for that. Not sure where we're putting the brass piece there. One more little Fenton oval bowl. I've got a space for that in my red, white, and blue section. It's always a little bit of a trick figuring out what to do in terms of, you know, it's going to be hot and sunny, which means that metal stuff's going to get really hot. Jewelry's going to get really hot. So you got to kind of think about where you're positioning it so that you can keep it cool enough for people to shop it. The Fenton hobnail cranberry opalescent candlesticks, those are actually pretty good. 1950s and a pretty desirable shape and color for the collectors who do. And the rest of those are brass leaves, which I have a customer who requested, so we're going to leave those in the box for now. And maybe put them in the car. Oh, one more Fenton Angel. Can I fit one more? There's always room for one more. Thankfully, in that case, that was true. I said it before I knew it. We'll set this back under here.
it on the, let's put it on the page. We need some fruit drinks in there on a.
This color Fenton cat was never in the line. And I hear cats are popular here. Do you need my height? What are we doing here? We're trying this up to that?
No.
Oh, you want to flip the canvas over it. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And hi there, by the way.
Hello.
I watched you roll in and I didn't say hello. We all help each other out. It's tents are tall and I'm tall, so I usually get the up part, which is good because I usually need help getting them down. All right, one more empty bin, one more plastic to put over everything at night. I like using the clear plastic because then people can still see through it, but we block off the booth and it tantalizes them, but they don't get into stuff because we clip it all down. All right, where is, my goodness, just when I thought it was safe to go back in the water, I have another bin or two here. Whoops, that was a Viewmaster, no breakage. Oh boy, these things don't get lighter. I keep thinking I should have a fantastic body by now with all the hefting of things I do, but somehow that hasn't happened. But I do think this is a good thing to keep people in shape. I mean, I see people in their 80s and 90s who are still sitting up at shows, believe it or not, and they're help dragging the stuff in and out of a building. But once they get there, they are ready to go. And, you know, it's fun. It keeps your mind sharp. There's a whole lot of other benefits to doing this besides just getting to appreciate cool stuff. Oh boy. More modernism. This might be the box I was looking for. Let's see, the Blue Mountain Deer. I think we'll put this direction somewhere. I need to get some plate stands to make some more room here, I see. And I have a few. So let's get some things up on stands because I need more space. I really like these fish. I think they're maybe more of a Florida thing, but this one is Portuguese Majolica. And the other one is Japanese Lesterware. And they're both older. I think they're both like 19, probably 20s on the Portuguese Majolica and 30s on the other piece. Which is the Japanese Lesterware. Oh, someone zigged and someone zagged. All right, I made room for something. At this point, that's a feat. I'm trying to leave this table kind of empty because I will spread jewelry out quite a bit. So let's see what other goodies we have in here. Oh, yes. Sasha Brostoff lighter with the antelope. That makes me want it. Ooh, let's not break things. That will not enhance our performance. There we go. Made some room for all that. There's our lighter. I got this Seagram 7-piece, which you can't see really well, but because advertising sells really well, somebody's going to sniff that out. Okay, what else is in the next box. A little more Sasha. This is a great shape. I might have to stack some of these little pieces or put the big brass stirrup on the ground. That might be the thing to do, because that can be safe on the ground and not get messed up. We've got a Hager earth wrap. I think this is going to end up out front with that other Hager piece. I don't think I want to. We'll use some of these boxes as tables and be able to set some more stuff up out there. And the pottery doesn't get as hot as the glass does, so that's a better thing to have in the sun. Nice little enameled flower piece there. I think this flower power needs to, I think we'll put it here. We could use some color in this display. I'm told by my friend in Seattle that modernists like neutrals, but I like color, so we're going to mix a little of each. There we go. And big Blanco vase. The only big Blanco piece I have this time. And it is green, green, green. And because of that, well, I'll just have to have somebody buy one more big thing, because I know where I want to put this, but there's no room right now. So for now, we're going to set that gently on the ground. This purple vase is pretty. It is not a Blanco. We're not sure who made this. I've seen them many times over the years. I'll show you up close, so if you see it, it's got a pinch, but it's not Blanco's pinch, because it actually closes all the way together. I think we'll put that there, because this Alaska line bowl can go there. All right. We're getting close to the end of this box. Oh, a really fun Sasha piece that I showed some of you folks when I did a live haul recently, but isn't that crazy? Love the eyes. I think we're actually going to put that there instead, because it's a little more, we'll find another spot for it. It's very dramatic. You know what I think I can do is set it here. We'll take these very nice bookends, which I didn't show earlier when I got them out, but they're very pretty Art Nouveau 1910s. And they would actually look just fine with the jewelry table, because she's got a pretty face. So we'll set those there. Oh, Michigan fertilizer seed. Well, this could hang with kitchen stuff. But we'll get to that. The hanging stuff I usually take down at night so it doesn't blow around, so I might wait till morning on that. Here's another pair of nice cast iron bookends with the flowers in them. And that I'm going to have to find a place for on this table. We got 1 and 2. There we go. Those can sit nicely together. We've got the tag with the Orient and Flume to put with it. And that is that. Okay. That means this must have the glass that I'm looking for, along with the big spode plate, which is very pretty and too big to really put up high. So unfortunately, we'll have to set it on the ground for lack of a better place. But I've sold dinnerware off the ground here. This is one of the presidential plates that was done by Castleton, China, for the bicentennial. We'll put that down too. This one is Shakespeare. I've had a lot of fun plates that are not collector plates. They're plates people actually buy. But We just have to find spaces for them at this point. Oh, yes, my big glasses in here, yay, along with these really, really great dogs with the huge eyes.
I'll give liver.
You guys got that okay?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, someone backed into the back corner bumper and didn't even leave a note. So, oh yeah. But you know, on the other hand, I figure it's got 230,000 miles, so I'm not so concerned about another dent. I'm just happy it runs well. Well, I think my animal guy will be happy when he comes. And one more animal, I believe. Just love these big doleful eyes.
Or just people come out there and you need more space.
Well, I have to be honest, I'll probably sit there and make them go around. Just because, yeah, so if you want to put a table there or whatever, don't worry about it, because honestly, I'll probably sit on the back of my van and have my wrapping and stuff there. And yeah, I mean, if someone wants to walk through, I'll let them, but you don't have to leave it open on my account.
Yeah.
Here's a very pretty Fenton piece. This was done by one of the guest artists late in their production using silver nitrate. It's definitely more modern than a lot of Fenton you see, and I really like it. And it can go, I think it's going to have to go here. I think it's got to be on display in a prominent spot because it is a good piece. So we're going to do that. And we'll just move this Hall China piece over here now that we made some room. See how that worked? I knew something was going to go in this space. I just didn't know what yet. All right. And the thing is, as things sell, well, we can move things around, but at least they're grouped in a way that it kind of makes sense for the people coming in. Here's my chalet pieces. This is what I've been waiting to find all day to finish this top part, because I just think they're so fun. It's like a big splash of water or a big leaping fiery flame, and I just think these are the neatest things. So I've already had someone look at the basket today. The basket is here in the Vancouver orange, because Vancouver was the mod place in Canada in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So they named it after Vancouver. All right. That brings us almost to the end of this box, which means we are getting close. We still have some stuff, but we're starting to get down to where the end is in sight, maybe, until we start doing the jewelry. And I like this slate painting. I need to find a thing to set that on. Right here will do. I like these because you can change the shape.
Yes. That's here.
Lamb chop's going to go up with the toys. Oh boy, okay. We are getting there. And if you folks are still watching, well, I'm so pleased. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's certainly it's a big, long labor of love, but this is what we do. It makes our customers happy. And honestly, it's how I've made a living for 35 years. Shows are definitely a pretty good income maker once you get a role and you get a circuit and you get people who know you. I know it looks like a lot of work, but if I sell 100 or 150 of these items, think how many times you would have to take pictures, make a listing, pack a box, take it to the post office. Hopefully you got paid. Hopefully they don't send it back. Here, they walk up, they like it, you make a deal, you put it in a bag and it goes away. So, you know, there's trade-offs for everything. Just checking to make sure this is still working. All right, I've got one more bin with a bunch of stuff, one more with the little stuff. And does this one have stuff too? Maybe, I better check. No, that one is empty. Great, okay. Well, we're gonna start moving things out towards the sidewalk. Not sure where earth wrap is going, but I think a lot of this pottery is going to be actually the front of the booth. I also have all my little cases of little stuff. I'm not sure where they're going, but we're going to just work on it and we'll find a place for everything that is meant to come out. And now I'm going to leave this fabric up to help keep the sun off me, but I'm already realizing that's not a good spot for it. So we'll change that. Oh, I also think I want to take this turner out of the sun because it's got very good color and 1 or 2 days of sun won't kill it. But if you do a few shows, that might start to fade it. So we'll just put it where the back is facing the sun. Look, instant shelves. Yes, crates become shelves too. I'm really big on saving space in the van, and you can take something that looks really ugly and dress it up in a way that people are not paying attention to the fact that you're using plastic crates. They're looking at the stuff on the plastic crates, and that's what you want. There we go. Not that most people need to bring as much stuff as I do. You can have a very nice, fun show and do lots of business without bringing this much, but, you know, it's just what I do. Yes, pretty glass is a good thing.
Oh, George.
Hi, how are you?
I know that voice.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows what boot for Madonna. No idea. That's really funny. Nice to meet you. I did not meet you the last time I was here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Donna. Nice to meet you. I like your Ron John shirt. I used to live in. I briefly lived in Cocoa Beach as a kid, and it was so wonderful.
Yeah.
But oh, how fun! Oh, neat. Oh, yeah. It's actually nice there in the summer because you've got the beach.
Yes.
It'd be a little cooking otherwise.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure I baked that day.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, yeah. We all come back a little toasty. All right. I found room for the crate. Now we can do some of these pieces and kind of extend the modern booth. And these are things I need to wash, so we're going to set them in there where they can be seen, but I won't emphasize them until I clean them, particularly this guy. This one's going to get hot because it's black, but I suppose people can use a little logic and figure that out. And actually, maybe we'll set that on the ground where it can be shaded a little. Hello. Good. How are you?
Which is this?
I could do. I was asking 20. I could do 15. It's German and it's from the 1920s, and they have the old sales receipt. I think they paid $100 for it a long time ago, but they wrote a little information on it, so I left it on there.
What about this item?
Oh yes, I could do 30 on that. I think it has some age. I think it's early 1900s, and I presume it's Korean, but that's just presumption based on other things I've seen.
I love it. Remember when I was like, his mouth looks like this. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me get this out of the way.
Oh, it's over there. Beth, your paperweight. Okay. Their butterflies are falling.
Well, that sounds sort of romantic. I'm going to be quiet while I let everybody shop in case they need to ask me a question. Oh, no, you're not in the way at all. I'm kind of all over the place, so if there's anything in the way, it's probably me. Let's see if I set that down.
We're always in the chat. Sorry,
it's my fault.
I was like on that angle again, and my foot's hurting.
Okay, I'm getting into the box that has some things I'm holding for particular people. So let's get those into the van before they get forgotten. Oh, and I have a pair of state socks that Lena Ray gave me from the good old state of Georgia where she's from. Oh, the red Fenton bird. I could do $40 on this one.
40?
Yeah,
That's really pretty.
it really is. It's a different paint job than they usually got. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. I always look for the ones that are a little unusual if I can find them.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who the painter is. I think it's marked on the bottom of the wing.
My eyesight is terrible. Kutshaw.
Oh yes, D. Ketchaw. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of their better designer or decorators.
Yeah.
I think she worked there for a number of years.
Well, thanks so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh yeah, well, we'll have more because obviously we're still putting out. So do come around again. But it's great to meet you.
Oh, okay.
The Asian fellow was looking up in Chinese that piece, which I gave him a pretty good price. I think he'll be pleased once he sees what they actually go for. But I came into it fairly inexpensively, and so I'm inclined to let it go. A lot of people don't recognize that glaze, and not everybody in America is familiar with water buffalo.
Just peewee.
Kiwi is 45.
And how much are your plates?
If they're pairs, they're $15 for the pair, and most of them are pairs. If they're singles, then they'd be like $7.
Okay.
I have a few that have the original paper too that they came in.
Yeah, nice.
We do get a lot of people leaving this time of day who walk by us, and so that's part of the reason I usually stay here until near the end of the show, because I get people after everyone else has gotten them and before everyone else has gotten them. It's an interesting place to be. I like this location.
That's right.
And you may think, oh, well, shouldn't you be watching them in case, you know, they mishandle something? But honestly, people are pretty careful, and there's other people around, and people don't usually try anything if there's other people watching, because they don't know who knows me and who's paying attention to them. So I don't worry much about that. If there's a crowd, it's when you're on your own and you're not paying attention that you get into trouble.
That's that information. That one I couldn't find out.
Uh-huh.
This one is the 80s and 90s that they make at the time, and now still selling it on the Chinese, like Amazon.
With this backing, with that age?
Yeah, that's why I look in the back. That's not right. That's they replicate the older one.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful to know.
It's 80s, 90s.
Okay.
Because the old one, it didn't have this. That's why it catch my eye.
Well, me too, and I wondered about that. Well, thank you very much. That's helpful to know.
I do have the older one.
Oh, very good.
Something from Antique Nomad.
And I'm sure for that older piece, that's the right price. Yes. Oh, very good.
Older piece about $200-300.
Yeah, exactly. So
the 106 convert to US dollar, that's about $13.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, would you do anywhere between 10 to 15?
I can't. It doesn't belong to me, and they have higher expectations than that, even though I understand what you're saying. And
that's not US dollars.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's yuan.
Yeah, that's yuan.
Yeah.
You know a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, but no, I'm afraid it's not mine, and so I can't do it as inexpensively as that. But I do appreciate the education. I'll go back to I'll go back to the person. Oh, that's what I love about this. Exactly. Yeah, and
that's about the flea market. If people buying the regular item, they'll go Walmart.
Yeah.
The flea market, they basically, I have seen people that buying some weird stuff. Where you buying that?
Yeah.
One guy buy the chair without the leg.
Just the seat. Wow.
And the how much that is? $5. The guy took it. Then I was buying something else, but my thing is not how much is.
What is the quality?
Just the seat and the back.
Yeah.
No leg.
Interesting.
And you have somebody will bring it to sale.
Yes.
Somebody will buy it.
I know, right? It's kind of amazing.
Not say good and rich neighborhood, just regular neighborhood. You can find window chairs outside all the time.
Oh, the auction house in Kentucky, they sold an 1860s Gothic chair for $5 that was in perfect condition. So, yeah, I'm always surprised.
But that was different. But the guy just that seat.
Yeah.
And the back. So what are you buying that for? You're gonna put
It's so interesting. Yeah,
you know,
what are you
can
going to
just I
do?
mean, it wasn't like it's just like a metal chair.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's much of anything. Yeah,
And,
but
I mean, and maybe
maybe he had a base. Maybe he had another piece for it.
That's what everybody says. But to me, like,
There must have been a reason, but you don't always know
I
why.
know.
Yeah.
But to me, like, somebody bring a chair. They have it. Somebody will buy it.
It is amazing. It's so interesting, and what you say is true. There's a customer for everything.
I know. $5. It doesn't hurt both sides, but like you actually.
But what are you going to do with it? And how is it worth taking that much space in your car to bring it? That's what I always wonder.
It's not much. It's like, what are you going to do with it? I know he's probably going to put outside on the rock or somewhere.
Yeah, or maybe he's hanging it as a swing. Who knows? People have interesting ideas. I know I can't get as close as you want. I could do 20, but I realize that might be too much for what it is.
Okay, I just look at it as a shipping price.
Yeah, that's true too. Okay.
This is the women's leaders of Evanston.
Oh, how cool.
There's Emily.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Both of my daughters are
my
in there.
Goodness, in the same episode. That's so
Well, it's
cool.
the leader. They do that once a year, the women leaders.
Oh, how nice.
Both of mine are.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm not surprised because I've met Emily and she's obviously super, super sharp. And you're obviously, you're all very bright and you have a way about you. So I'm not really surprised at all, but it's very exciting they got recognized. You did it right.
Any base?
Thank you. It did not come with the base. Okay. Let me wrap that for you. I'm sure some did. And but I know this just came like this to me.
I thought I had a steel, but didn't, because the cow is the older kind of traditional Chinese structure. They would not like, that's more like,
they wouldn't put a water buffalo in it. No. No, that makes perfect sense to me. As soon as you said it, I thought, okay, I understand what you're saying.
Simple and the more like quiet kind of thing.
Yes.
And the Western kind of like.
Yeah, Western is all about ostentation and
eye and the different cool design.
Exactly, where there's more of a Zen-like quality to the true things. Well, thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you. I learned something too, and I really appreciate you talking to me. That's one of my favorite things about doing this is we get to actually know things because we all help each other out. So thank you very much. Oh, well, that was an interesting thing for you all to see if you're still able to see, which I think you are in here, because that's an example of I had something that was a little out of my bailiwick. It came to me inexpensively. I am inclined to believe what he said because not only did he show me, but he backed it up with information. And we ended up making a deal. And because I didn't pay a lot for it, I don't mind letting it go for an inexpensive price. What he said made sense in terms of what I do know about the piece. And, if it didn't make any sense to me, I'd say, oh, no, that's okay. It might just be a ruse to get me to give a better deal. But I think what he told me was correct. And I learned something and he got what he liked. So it's nice how the world goes around that way. Oh boy, let's see. I am gonna make that note of this sale. Uh-huh.
One of the chatters.
Yes.
Asking for video of outside.
Oh, I'm afraid they're going to have to wait until I do a video to see outside of the booth because Zeno clipped that thing up and got it running, and I'm afraid to move it until it runs out of battery because I will screw it up and then that'll be the end of the broadcast. But there. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm stationary now. That is so cool. I love that thing. Okay. I would say 35-ish. It's Bartlett Collins, and it's got a really interesting pole, and it's obviously bicentennial, and I thought it was cool. Yes. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. I have room to put up another quote-unquote table using my empty bins. So let's do that because I have a lot more to spread out. And it's mainly jewelry. My jewelry people didn't come back, but I think they figured out as late as it was getting that I probably wasn't getting very far, and they were right. So they can come see it all tomorrow. And I'm happy because actually I don't like having to watch the jewelry while I'm doing setup. It's one of those things that is awkward and uncomfortable, and that's where I do worry about security. Although I have to say the people that I've met here and the people I've dealt with here have all tended to be very honest and very fair and forthright, but you still just want to be careful about such things. I mean, I have to say, for whatever has been in the press about Springfield, Springfield is actually a pretty decent place, and I have seen a lot of nice people who seem to treat each other well. So that's all I can say about that. All right. Let me get this in a position. Little sand painting. I always think of Captain or Flipper when I find sand paintings. I have a bunch of glass paperweights, but these were actually intended to show a friend of mine who told me he cannot come to the show. So I think I'm going to put them aside, given that I don't have room for everything anyway. Boy, the back of the van is getting scary. Jason, do you know what time it is?
I do. It is 5:32.
Okay, great. I've got about 1 hour before I have to go. All right, well, if you folks want to stick with me for another hour, I think I'll be here that. And so we'll just keep working away and show you what we can. I brought lots of table coverings so that we can make these bins look a little less like bins, although the one that's out in the front is probably just going to have to be uncovered. But I'm going to cover it with enough stuff that no one will care. And let's see. How we can do that. I know I'm a little hard to see from out here, so this might be getting a little less visually interesting, but this is where I've got to work at this point. That's a big case of jewelry and other things. It's nice and heavy and has a few things I can take out and show you as I put them up. I never even got to this stuff at Teak Stock, so this stuff hasn't been seen in the last few weeks. Cute little pillbox here. I can't really see, but and fans, I like fans as backdrops and props, and these are nice. I only have 2 left out of that collection I got, and they always end up being backdrops, and I think that that's why I haven't sold them, but I don't mind because they're nice for that. We'll set them here so that they can kind of separate the jewelry case from the rest of the space. And I'm going to put paper stuff aside for now. I do have paper ephemera. I will try to put some of it out tomorrow, but I'm going to have to figure out where it'll be safe from weather as well as from blowing around. So that might be a morning thing. Some doll furniture we'll just kind of scatter in the empty spot we have. At this point, it's just wherever it fits. A lot of these are Strombecker pieces. They're kind of cute. Little chairs and tables, and they're all solid walnut, just like Mom and Dad had back at the time. Okay. We've got a tray of less expensive jewelry. I think I'll put near the front because that can draw people in, and I also don't have to fuss over or worry about it out here. Michael Jackson cards. I don't know who told him that this was a good look. Don't get that. We'll put those just randomly with the modernist stuff for no good reason now that we have a little space. And Hopalong Cassidy bowl from back in the 50s. Hello.
Always come back to yours.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm doing my best. I might get most of it out today at this rate. or I might not. We'll see. But I'm gaining on it. Exactly. So far, so good. Well, you know what? It all works out fine. Everybody gets to see what they were meant to, and let me see here. Boy, toys are going to have to find a home. Okay, I think we're going to leave this facing in, but I'll turn it the other way in the morning because that'll be a nice thing with my modern stuff. Get them. Come back by. Please do, because I've got a lot more of that kind of thing to put out. The music maker, this is kind of fun. It's like a little, I don't know, like a zither, I guess. We'll put that with the Congo drum, and we can have a little band here. One more silhouette I overlooked. Let's get that out into this space here. All right, gold water for president. We'll put that down here with the gold water can. Okay. Almost to the bottom of this bin too, which could be useful for more jewelry. So let me get this one open. This is one of these nice little kits with all the pieces in it, these surveyor's kits or drafting kits. They actually do sell. People will still use these. I think they're interesting looking too. We'll put that out front, where it will eventually find a home once I figure out what I'm doing. And I think we are going to finish this bin. Because if I can stack another one on it, then we'll have another table height display for some more jewelry. Do worry a little bit about pave stones. If they're not prong set, they can fall out because they're glued in. So I will look in the morning. It's starting to cool down now, but in the morning I'll probably rearrange so that anything with those kind of stones goes in the shade. Balenciaga perfume, or Balenciaga. I think I'm massacring the pronunciation. I am terrible with French and only becoming passable with Spanish after considerable study. Waterford vase we'll put with the other crystal. There we go, that's nice. One thing to consider though, I had this on a mirror. I have had paperweights light fabric on fire in my booth at shows because of the sun. That can be a thing. So I think we'll put this where it doesn't get quite so much light on it. All right, that came from a friend of mine, so I'm going to keep it. Whew. How you doing, Pat? Oh, yeah, well, I'll wear that tomorrow. Yes. Well, you know I'll do the hat. Okay. What else can we do to get things out here? I think this bin's going to have to go back on that other one for height. These big toys can sit on the ground and be just fine. You're getting the blow-by-blow, play-by-play of what goes through my mind when I'm setting up. We'll put all these license plates in the front where people can thumb through them. And that'll let us move this. And we'll fill in the booth this way. Got a bunch of children's games, but they are paper, so they're going to go in the van overnight because, you know, there is dew point here, and even though we cover up, moisture gets under things. I know some of you earlier told me to hydrate. I am enjoying this lemonade very much. And I've got a big bottle of water here too. But those are going to go on the ground at this point. I see another silhouette. Oh, let's see what else is in here. A couple more silhouettes, another bangle, another bracelet. Another Sasha Brastoff piece. We're getting into the very randomly packed boxes. I always like these because they're from the Alaska line and they're shaped like sort of igloo-ish. We'll put this with the earth wrap and the Blanco, I think. Oh yeah, that looks good together. More silhouettes. Those will hold those fans down, which is probably a good idea. I actually have a PJ, if you're out there watching for some reason, I have your silhouette that I forgot to give you at Teak Stock, so I'll be in touch if you're not in touch with me first. Okay. Yeah, for example, all of these are pave stone, meaning they're glued in. If these get hot enough, the stones will start to fall out, especially when you look at new Chinese jewelry. It does that a lot, which is why I'm not a fan. It may look good from a distance, but it doesn't stay looking good. Okay, a little bird in this little baggie here. We'll put this out. We're just about there. I'm very pleased. We'll mess with jewelry maybe more in the morning because my jewelry people didn't come back this afternoon, which is actually okay with me. They will be here tomorrow. The jewelry buyers are always very active here. And $1908. That doesn't look like modernism, but it actually kind of looks good with those. So we'll just leave it right there. Okay. There's those. A couple of glasses that I don't seem to have the set for, so we'll pack those away. There's always something where you only bring part of it. Halloween adjacent. Speaking of Halloween, I have my cover for the tables with spider webs. Okay, and what else is in this bin? I think I got it all. That's great. So that is going to seal. And then I will put this other bin on it. And I have another cover that's strangely perfect for this that I didn't really mean to bring. But it's Barbie. She'd be fun to hang up, but I do need something to cover this box. So I'm going to put her right here with jewelry on her, and I think people will enjoy that. Barbie is ready to party. Those are not particularly old, even though it has the old looking Barbie on it. That's actually a relatively new piece. And that's going to give me a little room also to put the ribbon lady, I think, where she can be seen a little better, and she'll also create a little bit of shadowing for the jewelry I put on so it doesn't get too hot, because jewelry is another thing. The metal will get hot and people will pick it up and burn their hands, and that's not such a pleasant experience and not good for sales. See, the auto strop razor, kind of a random thing I'll put with kitchen, even though it doesn't really belong. It's in a box, so it at least looks right. Ooh. One more Sasha Brastoff piece with the dancer we can set in this space. And now we've got room for a bunch of jewelry and a few other things, so that's great. Put the little box here. I like to not put the jewelry displays right on the edge just because if somebody bumps them, it never hurts it, but they always feel bad and then they don't want to touch anything. And that doesn't help sales either. So you got to think about that in your display as well. As I want to get a lot of stuff in here, but I also want to make it shoppable enough that it doesn't scare people away. And that's a little bit of a trick when you bring as much stuff as I do. So there's a lot of fussing that goes into that. Smoking pipes can go maybe over here. Those have never been used. Somebody must have quit. All right. We've got one more there while we're at it. Not sure where this little brass bowl can go. I think we'll put it down with the other brass for now. The nice thing is with the metal, you can put it on the ground and not worry. If you're not leaving it there too long, it won't corrode or anything like that. That is a medical item that I can set over with similar. Stereo views can go there too. Okay, well, you know what? I think it's time to show you some of the stuff I bought in the lines. I showed you some of this as we were unpacking before, but this is my last group of purchases. And yes, I am going to put them right out at the same show, and you will be surprised, or at least if you haven't done this before, you might be surprised. A lot of this stuff will sell right away. I did not pay $30 for this decanter, but this is Cambridge glass in the very pretty purple, and I do have the stopper. The stoppers were clear. Great color. Late 30s, I believe, on that particular one. It's either 30s or 50s. I'd have to go look in a book to know for sure. Oh yeah, there's just a few things left in here. There it is with its stopper. Good color. And I like bar stuff. And I think it's actually going to go best up here, believe it or not. We'll just move these forward. Obviously, people ask for help when there's something that's so far behind everything. But that purple is going to set off this orange nicely, so I think we'll do that. And the blue doesn't object to it either. I'll turn the blue the other way so they can see through the display a little better. We'll put everything to the middle so that it's not too top heavy. And then this is a brush McCoy piece. I was shocked they only had $10 on it. They only sell for about $25 to $30, but it is the really nice blue color. And you don't see the blue as often. So we're going to put this up front. Eventually it'll find a home. For now, I'm going to just set it on the ground, but it's a really rich cobalt and bright blue together. And then the other thing, well, two other things. It's so silly that I'm buying any salt and peppers because I've got like 400 at home to sell still. But this was nice because it's lucite and it actually has the maker name on the bottom. This wasn't something done in someone's shop class, and they did not charge much for this. So I thought with the little rose in the bottom, it was cute, and it's see-through, which is helpful because it shows well in a display.